figure out how to give myself
mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday, and welcome to the Brick Something News. I say good afternoon because I'm over here in the West, but for everybody else, good evening, good early evening. Yeah, you figured out what
no gang signs.
Yeah. Brutal. All right, so welcome to the Brick Something News. We are, normally we kind of run through some newsy stuff, the needless ephemera, but like really, honestly, I've got one piece of ephemera that I fell in love with, maybe over a year and a half ago now, just based on some ridiculously dope concept art I saw on Instagram. And I was like, what is this? Who is actually paying attention to the kind of stuff that I want to see in plastic form? And that was the Brutal Realm Instagram. Right. And I saw those figures. And today we're joined by Jason and James from Realm Toys, the keepers of the realm of the Brutal Realm. And so these guys finished a Kickstarter and we want to check in with them. But first, how are you guys doing?
Great. I'll stop moving any second now and stay in one spot.
I stand. Yeah, no, I stand. So people are like, man, you move around a lot because, whatever. I have to.
Yeah. My chair's on rollers and it's like I'm trying to get situated and try not to look too spooky in my light effects. So it's a whole thing. I apologize in advance to everybody who's like, if this guy doesn't stop moving around for 2 seconds,
it's fine. So hey, welcome to you guys. But for real, when I say how you guys doing, I know it's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. But like, how are you guys doing after raising, what was it, $392,000 in this Kickstarter? When for a minute there, we're kind of like, how far are we going to go? Where's this going? And then all of a sudden it went like that. And whole like, I'm curious how you're doing after that. How was the come down after that crazy ride? Was it like straight into work, or how did that go? Like post Kickstarter?
It's been work ever since. So we're after the Kickstarter immediately. We had to do our Toylancer convention, so we wanted to get that going, and then our lead designer started working on another project at the same time. He was still working with us. So there was kind of a little bit of a hiatus, and then Christmas and all that. And so now we're back, we've got our lead designer focusing directly on us. He's knocking out designs. You'll see in, later on, we're going to show some stuff. Don't want to give away too much. But we've been working on fine tuning things as well, and developing a relationship and communication with the factory and learning that whole process. And then of course there's, Chinese New Year. And then, we're working on other stuff at the same time, packaging art, design, reconfiguring things. So it's been a lot of work. It's hard to tell because it's all behind the scenes, but now we're finally working on the stuff that people can see and the people that really care about, because, ultimately when you get the figure in your hand, you care about all the little things we've been doing. But right now, when you've given your money, a lot of you have given so much money, especially during like the most busiest time to get toys. And you want to see a return on your investment, especially how there's some Kickstarters that have taken way too long to deliver. We don't want to be one of them. And there's always things that happen. We're lucky so far. So we can't talk like, we're better than anybody, which we are. But bad joke.
Take a breath, James. Take a breath.
Yeah, so that's where we are.
It's been a lot. It sounds like it's been a whirlwind. Yeah. It sounds like even in your brain, like going back, it's like, But here, I will just say this, and I would love to hear from Jason too, but I'm hoping you're finding some enjoyment in the process and taking a step back and going like, holy crap, we're doing this. And like, people are excited for us. Like, I know I'm not in your shoes, so I haven't really heard like what chatter's been, but I hope it's been positive, but I know that sometimes it's not. But screw those folks and just recognize that myself and a bunch of folks, like, we're just excited. And I think if anything, so just remember that part. How about you, Jason? What's that experience been like for you?
It's been like, well, since the end of the Kickstarter, we're like, oh my God. And then we're like, oh my God, we got so much work to do. And so then it's been like, and then we have conventions that we're attending. We attended Jolanta in September, like right after that. And then we attended Legion's Con. And then
got to see these guys.
And after that, we're like, man, we really need to step up our booth. So we're like focusing on booth setup and display, and also making sure that the factory has like our paint masters, and they sent us one sample, and we're like, that paint doesn't really freaking match. So we're like, James is like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. This is the color. Look here. And he's like taking all the photos, and then he's sending him more stuff. And this latest sample that we got, we're like, oh, damn. I was noticing the airbrush, the dry brushing, and I was like, oh shit.
It might be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be better.
Which is, I
was going to say like, oh, damn good. Oh, damn
good.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
It was such
I love that.
A relief,
Yeah. And so we're updating, and on our side, we're updating our characters and like the accessories and Chief Motto we're getting ready to finalize. And just the stuff Penn, when he's redesigning everything, and we're like, oh my God, that looks freaking awesome. Oh my God. So I mean, Penn is killing it for us, and we couldn't be in a better spot.
Love that. Good. See, that's what it's about. I know it gets real stressful, but you guys are doing some exciting things, and I know you've had these ideas for this world to build for a long time, and now it's coming together. And what I also heard is like, oh crap, there's all these things that we hadn't thought about. Like, who'd have thought you had to think about a booth or going to shows? Because you weren't going to shows doing the Brutal Realm tour in person, right? So now it's about that and working that in. And so, well, I'm glad that you're here back to talk with our little show. And there's a bunch of folks who are here to hang out and listen and ask questions. So let's say hello to those folks first. We got Larry's Geeky World, who was here bright and early. Appreciate you. We got Dora Laxon calling out those of us who are not here bright and early. What's up with that? We got E. McNeil. Hello, sir. Welcome to you. Brutality from Rick Jones. Hello. Brian Carr. People got some specific things. So I'll put a pin in it, but we'll come back to it. But hello, Brian. There's that. And then hello from Chris, also Christopher Bouchard. Sorry, took liberties with your name there. I'll put a pin in that and we'll come back and answer those questions for sure. Vaz Zone. Don't know who's behind there. If it's just Adrian, Tiffany, both of you. Hello. Blake, aka Recon Rage. What's going on, man? Good evening to you, sir. This guy. What's up? Brutal boys and babes. I was gonna say that was one of my commentary. I noticed like you guys are fitted. Like they got the Realm Toys hats. They got the Brutal Realm gear.
Yeah,
we should definitely talk about that.
People
later.
wanted stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Later.
Yeah. No, it's fine. No, I will be among them. Here we go. Busted. Josh, James, y'all know each other? Are you familiar? Thanos, what's going on?
I was talking to him, so
oh, were you?
One of the reasons why I took a moment to chat with
Josh.
him. Yeah.
Josh, what's up? I just want to clarify, Ray is not accusing me of having inhaled farts prior to the show in the past tense. No. He might be referring to something else, but what's up? Weird. Ray says hello. Sorry. Hello again, Thanos. Let's see. Skew Raider. Hello, sir. Good to see you. Lazy Sunday. Oh man, yeah, Sundays are busy days, but good busy days. Let's see. ¿Quién más? Sino pa. This is a random question, but no, not yet, and I can't wait. The Amazing showed me how great that toy is going to be. The Collecting Brothers are here. Probably one of them. Probably John. Hello. Yeah, I saw that you all gave him a shout out, or gave them a shout out for their coverage of your guys' stuff. Collecting Brothers is dope. They'll be here hanging out with me in a couple weeks.
Good choice.
Great. D, what do we have here? Hello. Oh, well, check this out. This is a favorite subject of Skews.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
I agreed, which is
Awesome.
why, like, hey man, come back.
I
Give me
like
some
the Dave
updates.
Chappelle icon there. I do a pretty good Dave Chappelle impersonation. So ask me if you ever see me at a convention. I won't do it online.
Okay, fair enough. Can you tell me what era? Are we talking pre-Africa visit, pre-trip?
Pre,
Post?
absolutely. Yeah,
Pre.
the whole
Okay.
Chappelle show thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I miss the Chappelle show. Can't wait to get my Brutal Realm figs. Says Schmerber. What's up, man? Good to see you. Shout out to you and the Double Jointed crew. Let's see. Look, John trusts in your passion.
Thank you.
Y'all gonna deliver huge what? Brian Carr is here. Absolutely excited for these figures. Josh Brown, I'm going to pin his comment. He said hello again. No, I'll say it right now. I think this is a good reminder. For real, take all the time you need. The more time, the more money I can save for the backer kit. Plus, I got a dragon to worry about here soon.
We saw it in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
That thing is crazy.
I mentioned briefly while you guys were talking, like, oh, that's right. We got to see each other in November. So we actually had that brief opportunity to connect at Legion's Con, but you all were busy with your table. I was busy at the Spiro table, but it was cool to kind of see each other in person, and hope to do that again soon. Let's see. Oh, look,
definitely the best convention I've ever been to.
Oh, 100%.
Except for Joe Lanta and what's gonna be Toy Lanta coming up.
Good save. I haven't been to those, so I can 100% say with all truthfulness that was the best convention I've ever been. It's just different community. You know me, I'm a fan of indie toys, so seeing you guys, like, I'm sitting with Spiro Toys, who I love, two stalls down, it's the Galactic Valor folks, like all these toy companies that I know and love, the Meta Travelers. It was great. And then all the photographers and customizers, man, of course, little thing called the Four Horsemen. So yeah, it was great. Go if you get a chance. Justin Mohan is here. Hello. The collector #1. That's bold, sir. That's bold. Ray is here. Are you late because of that first part? But hello, good to see you. Whip. Hello.
I neither confirm nor deny.
Nolan can confirm. Hey, Nolan, what's going on? And thank you to everybody who's here. They want to talk to you guys. They want to hear about what you're all doing. You brought some stuff today, which I'm really excited about, and saw those posts, and I was like, oh, cool. Let me post those too. I appreciate that. But before then, I also did want to kind of take a step back to the Kickstarter, just sort of right after. Let me go ahead and share screen. And here is remember this thing? This was a little thing you all did, which was very successful and fun and awesome. Oops, that's a weird one. Let's go ahead and stick back to the other one. Sorry. And so this was cool. This was a whole thing. We had a great time.
Other than all the stress
being on that ride. Well, I'm sure for you all, it was very stressful from our end as toy fans and people who wanted to back and support cool toys. It was an exciting ride, man, especially towards the end when you saw those numbers jump, and then it just like crazy snowball. I haven't seen that. I haven't looked back at, I think I looked back at the analytics once and kind of mentioned it to you, but that was a crazy ride, and all those like unlocking of stuff. So that was cool. But I think what folks might forget about is that along the lines, like, so there's all this stuff. We don't need to really rehash. I'll just kind of like scroll through and remind folks of the kinds of characters and sort of versions of the figures that you were sharing at the time. You had blank bodies, you had a couple name figures. This guy, as a reminder, was just in art form at that point and was like not even a character until mid-campaign.
Speaking of, don't scroll down too far with the art.
Oh,
Some things we don't want to rehash.
Dude, just whatever. We won't rehash it because anybody who's living there needs to move on. It's February, whatever, 23rd, 2025. So anyways, there was all this really cool stuff revealed, unlocked. But then most folks don't kind of like remember to check back on the updates. And since then, you've had a couple of updates that have shared some things. So I wanted to make sure that we start there because that would be the latest one. Let me go to the first one. That's not right.
No.
Is it this one? Okay. I might have these out of order, whatever. But yeah, let's start here.
Yeah,
pretty early on, because again, you ended with unlocking a bunch of stuff, including the beasts, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't really have a clear sense other than some concept art pretty early during the process. And of course, you all were in a rush. So when it was over, right before Legion's Con, you put this up. And so these were these were the early development of the Panther character in general. Like, is it like same artist that's working on these? What's it like to work on the more beastly thing versus the human characters you all had?
Well, we're excited to get to the primal figures. We've got these wonderful head sculpts. We're done with all of our head sculpts for the figure. Penn, we don't like to rush because he is a genius, and everything he does is just quality. So he's going to redesign the body with fur on it, and then we're going to do fur overlays, kind of like how Sabretooth has that like fur, kind of extra fur on his forearms and like lower arms, and probably overlay on the shoulders. So we're finishing off all the male characters for the factory to go for it to be factory ready. We're almost done with all the male characters right now. He's working on General Grimskull as we speak, and then Athena. After all the male characters are done, Athena is number one, her base body. And Penn will be doing officially the first head sculpt for our line, believe it or not. He does all the bodies, all the accessories. He redesigns every single thing, essentially. And this, unfortunately, is his first opportunity to do a head sculpt for us. He should have been able to do so many more, but finally, we're going to let him shine. And so Athena right there, you can see the concept art, and that's pretty much what we're going to stick to. So she's going to have all the same articulation as the male figures, and she's going to be very curvaceous, as you can see. And then once we're done with Athena, we'll move on to the primals. And bada bing, bada boom, we're done. We're out. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have everything designed. We'll have the male figures shipped. Hopefully by the summer, either all of them or the vast majority of them. And then as soon as we can, we'll do another shipment of more figures. And hopefully we're done by the end of the year or right around there. You know, with factories and everything, you don't know how things go.
Yeah, and I hope everybody understands this. I think by now folks are familiar enough with the game, but there's a giant asterisk there because so many things can happen. Obviously, the world is also a little bit more volatile than usual, especially when it comes to things like international trade. So I hope that people are understanding. You know, having had the chance to talk to a bunch of different toy makers now, I have a better sense of how complicated and complex toy making can be. And so I don't know, I'm hoping folks have some grace, but like this is good stuff. And it was cool to see this sculpt because I know that, where was it? By the end of the campaign, again, all we saw were concepts. And I got to say, like, that's a lot of faith people have in what you're doing. They love the aesthetic of what you all kind of came up with. So there was a lot of just like, yeah, let's trust these folks to give us some beasts. So real quick, I want to clarify something you said about the sort of saber tooth overlays and the furry overlays. So it will essentially use the same buck that's in the other ones, colored with those furry parts. Where are the overlays? Is it forearms?
Yeah, so
Shoulder,
it's gonna be the same base design, but it's gonna be a whole new body because
Oh,
we
okay.
have to design fur on top of it.
Yeah,
And
that's what
Ken
I was
has,
wondering. That's misheard
yeah,
you. Okay,
yeah. So we're
got
not
it.
just gonna put, like saber tooth, where it's just those certain parts that have fur. Because if that
Okay,
was it, we'd be, it'd be a lot easier. But we're gonna
sure.
actually design fur
Got
around
it.
the body, and we want to make sure that the range is still there and the
Mhm.
movement is still there, even though there's fur designed around, moving parts. So that'll take a little bit, but hopefully it won't take too long for that because it's just we're using the same engineering that we already know is working great with our base body. So he's going to, some of the figures are going to have more than others. Like Lion Lord has the fur on the arms, and he's going to have some armor, whereas the rest of the primal figures are just the naked bodies with fur added on, and they're probably
Mhm.
going to have that like saber tooth fur around the collar to give them a little bit more mass. Fur, as well as the fur on the forearms, just like Lion Lord has,
Yep.
and fur on the lower legs. And
Okay.
they're going to have a tail too, so we're going to have to design a little tail in there.
That's yeah. There's a lot for you guys to kind of work through. I don't want to
Yeah.
gloss over the. So we did look at this. I don't want to gloss over Athena and the other women because there were three, right? Sort of
Mhm.
three.
Yep.
4 total, yeah.
Uh,
4
what was the
total.
language? Remind me. Were they called basics or what did you
Yeah, we were
call
using
the?
basics then, but
Okay.
we are giving all of our basic warriors names. Like the
Okay.
basic male warriors now have
Mhm.
names, just
Okay.
because it just makes it easier. So the African
Uh-huh.
warrior, his name is Jagun, which is Nigerian for
Okay.
warrior.
Uh-huh.
Chitan is the Native American, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please correct me
Okay.
if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat or anyone ever.
This is not meant to be a test, but just because was it a particular? Because you mentioned,
Yeah,
did
it
you
is a
say
particular
Nigerian? Do you
dialect.
know?
Lakota, I believe I stuck
Lakota.
with
Got it.
that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Hmm.
since that's
Uh-huh.
kind of been our main inspiration. I think it's
Nice.
still
Which makes
Lakota.
sense with the headdress and everything. Okay.
Mhm.
And
And then
then our Germanic European warrior is Krieger, which means soldier warrior in Germanic. So
got it.
yeah,
Okay.
Krieger,
And then what about?
Jagun, and Chitan.
And then do you have them for the women as well, or you're still
Nah,
working on the names?
we're still workshopping some names.
Hmm.
So yeah.
But the
They
general
but
idea of go ahead.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say it, but we were calling them basic, but they are our barbarian warriors.
Sure.
So that's what we're calling them, the barbarian warriors. But the males, like
Barbarian
James was
warriors.
saying, they have names, and then we're working on the names for the females.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, that's cool. Like all of those things, I want to highlight the amount of labor and thought and brain power that goes into this. Of course, there's the design aspect. There's the, product positioning and categorizing and labeling and naming, all of that stuff. You all are doing it kind of on the fly. So well, I don't take away. I'm sure you've had a lot of this
No, no,
planned as
no.
well.
That's true. No, sometimes, we're just chatting around, and then, oh man,
Okay.
let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
call it this. Like, we're doing a diorama
Uh-huh.
for our convention display, and one of them is inspired by African art, and it's got like an African lion's head. And I was just driving and listening to, I think, Toy Geeks, and they
Okay.
were talking about the Thundercats palace, or no,
Uh-huh.
maybe it was
The lair. Castle?
now we know. Robo don't know anyway, and they were talking
Mhm.
about the. I was listening to Brian talk about the castle, and I was like, "Oh, Lion Lair." So
So
that's
just things pop up as
yeah,
you're going
Lion's
and you're
Lair.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it,
yeah.
love it. Okay.
I hope it sounds good. So,
It does. It
I
does sound good.
mean, yeah, I mean, there's the cat's lair, but yeah. No,
I've
it's cool.
never heard
And
of that. Never heard of that.
People are saying they're super excited for the figures, and people are agreeing. Folks are definitely just hyped to sort of see this, but what else? Not a
Oh,
but,
someone
actually.
asked if we were going to be at ZoloCon.
Right. So I
Unfortunately,
was going to go through some of those questions. Like
sorry.
what's your let's go and tackle that. What's
Mm.
if you're going to be there, and what is your current con schedule looking like for the rest of 2025?
Unfortunately, we didn't think about ZoloCon for this year.
Okay.
Especially, we won't have the test sample for Ogun by then, and hopefully, we're hoping to have also the test sample from the factory for Ogun and Cronin and Crowman by Toylanta. So,
Okay.
Toylanta and Joe Lanta have always shown us a lot of love, and we kind of think of that as like our convention, especially now that PowerCon is a part of Toylanta.
Right.
And it's Toylanta this year is getting crazy. It's like Legion's Con level of like people that are going to be there. So we're real excited, and we are going to have packaging there. We're going to have the test samples from the factory that who knows, we might have just gotten in ourselves and are playing with. We're going to have some diorama displays. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's going to be a whole bunch of things. So right
the
now,
diorama display, real quick. So
yeah.
that's intended to be at your table. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Or is that something? Okay. Yeah.
Who
Not
knows
something
what might happen if people show enough interest? We might offer it. But it's just something to show people the world that we're creating, and the kind of landscape that this world is in. So
yeah, very cool. So, but are there any other shows after those two that you're looking at before Legion's Con and maybe finishing out the year?
IshCon definitely. In May, we'll have hopefully the first like factory prints from the factory for IshCon. Who knows what else? It would be great because our production manager Vonner is like, this factory is awesome. They move fast, and they're doing great work. So who knows where we'll be then? At the very least, we hope to have factory actual like from the mold factory samples for IshCon. And Jason, let me know if I'm forgetting anything. Joe Fest. We will be at Joe Fest as well. We'll be in the hallway, which is our favorite spot to be in. We do well there.
That's right.
Is that the summer?
Yes.
Okay.
It is July in Augusta, Georgia.
I'm gonna see if there's a possibility that I can make it there this July. We'll see.
Let us know.
But if not, definitely Legion's Con again in November. So basically, if folks go, they'll see sort of like your diorama, kind of starting to build out your vision for the world that these figures inhabit. Yeah. Whatever you have, it sounds like at the time is what you'll be bringing. So if you want to meet these guys, go. If you want to, pick their brains in person, talk to them, go check them out, let them know that that you're supportive, and keep them excited so that they're giving it their best, and then take a look at whatever they have so you can kind of maybe get your hands on it, or just take a look depending on where they're at. I just
want to say we might have a life-size version of the shield to take pictures with, and Crowman's axe as well.
Love it. I love that
Jason
idea.
probably has a version of somewhere.
I do. It's
mine's away too.
Yeah. But folks, if you do, you have to take off your shirt.
Ooh.
That's right.
And no, I'm just kidding.
Ain't gray hair long.
So folks are definitely feeling what you guys are bringing. Thanos is looking forward to these ladies. Here we got Quip also commenting on the thickness, the body. Like, for real, you guys are giving us some toys that simply have not existed. So I'm really, really happy about that. And then as far as like the beast goes, that's definitely something that's clearly exciting, folks. Quip
Ooh.
He said that it gives him MJ Thriller vibes. What are the odds of getting a con exclusive Brutal Realm and a varsity jacket for that
Ooh.
hell?
Oh man,
With the
that's a good
lynx
idea.
head, yeah, that would be.
Yeah,
That's actually a good idea, Quip. I
that
love
is a
Michael
good idea.
Jackson. So
Same,
I was a Michael Jackson wannabe impersonator as a kid. So
same.
Dude. So basically, go to these cons and ask him to do the Dave Chappelle and the Michael Jackson.
Oh
So
yeah.
there you go. He will answer
uh,
you. What's up, KJ?
I'll sing Prince too if you really want to see how ridiculous I'm willing to make a fool out of myself.
that's his bread and butter right there. That's his love, Prince. Dave's Dimension is here, loving what you're doing. It's Joe Henry. Quip is naming something that I have named as well that I really appreciate about what y'all are doing, which is kind of why I ask about like the name of the warrior and sort of where they're coming from. I think it's really great, actually, and particularly in this day and age. I think it's way past time that people learned about other cultures, other warrior cultures, while knowing that it is still in this fantasy world. But I think it's just cool. It makes for a way more interesting shelf.
Definitely.
As far as like the primal stuff, here's Adam from Highly Articulated asking, have you considered changing the primal name to avoid confusion with another toy maker's sort of primal series? And that would be, what's it
Oh wait,
like?
Gendy
Animal.
Tartakovsky's his primal has cartoon. They have toys now.
No, it's this other
Primal
thing called
series cartoon?
Animal Warriors
Of the
something.
kingdom.
Yeah, that's it. A walk, I think, is how the kids refer to it. No, he's kidding. You do you, boo. Don't worry about a walk. They'll be just fine. Let's see. There is let's see. And Joe Fest is
I would
June
definitely
20th.
buy Primal toys.
Absolutely.
I would
Hell
too.
yeah.
Listen, we all know that Animal Warriors the Kingdom has the best primal figures. I've got a whole shelf of them right there.
Yeah, we
but
were
I
just
love every time
Yeah.
every time I see one every time I see them at the convention, I'm like, oh, I gotta get this figure now. So I'm a huge fan of theirs.
yeah,
Same.
man. They're gonna be
Yeah.
hanging out with Ogun. They're gonna be hanging out with Mato on my
Oh,
shelf.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and
let's
we
take a
have
look
a
at some of the
different
other.
design aesthetic too, so they can all play
Totally.
together and look like neither one is biting off the other.
Absolutely. Ogun here, just sort of in early prototype form, and you kind of shared this early. And I just want to show it because I know you guys have iterated on the body. Where are you at with the body? I know that you've mentioned it a couple of times that you notice things and you make tweaks. Where are you at in the process now?
So that's what took the most amount of time from our Kickstarter to all the updates that we're starting to do now is that we're talking with the factory. We sent them the files, we signed the contract, and we're looking over how because they redesign everything you send them to make sure that it works in the mold. So our designer Penn, Jason, myself, we're looking over the things, making sure this is right, it's a little too tall, short, this, that, we need more range here. So all that has been ironed out because 13 of our main characters, and then if you want to think about the primal figures, use the base articulation scheme. So we wanted to make sure that that was perfect, so that when we produce these figures, it's really at the quality that everybody wants and deserves. So now
Have you hit that?
Yes.
You feel like you've hit that now? You're at that? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get the factory sample in hand. They're gonna send it to us, and we'll feel it out and make sure. There's always gonna be tweaking up to the very last moment, even after we get the molds made. So we're anything we can change to make it better, we will. So we're not gonna be like oh well, it's already this, so we're just gonna go with that. Jason won't allow that to happen. So.
Hell no. No. But what we have given them is what we want, and it's just the other way around. Is what they produce and send to us. Is it going to be what we want and what everybody expects?
Right. Yeah, because you get these things. They do the temp molds or whatever. They spit it out, and then you get them, and you now see how they fit together and how they move. I'm curious, just like, because you're in Jersey, right, James? And Jason,
I'm from Jersey.
you're from Jersey.
I'm in Atlanta. Peace up, A-Town.
Oh, you're Atlanta, GA. That's right. And are you guys near each other then?
Only in our spirits and our souls.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm wondering, how
In
do
my
you do that
heart.
logistically? Does one person get it and then you ship it off, or like
I'm
when you
probably
get stuff from
gonna
the factory?
I'm probably gonna drive up there. I would have flown, but things
Mhm.
aren't looking too good. But it's definitely important that they're gonna probably send it to me first, and then
Okay.
it's important that it gets in Jason's hands because Jason
Right.
is a much
Mhm.
better articulate poser than I am,
Yeah.
and he did the whole prototype printing.
Printing and
So
prototyping, right?
we both see things the other one doesn't see.
Yeah.
This is why I think, and Jason thinks, our partnership works so well, is because we're just like, we're different, but we both have the same
Yeah.
goals. So
Yeah.
it's very important that we both get our hands on this to see it. Hopefully, what probably will happen is when he comes down for Toylanta, he'll
Mhm.
probably have seen it right before everyone else does, unfortunately, for the test samples. So
They're seeing
Yeah.
Diesel in this.
Yeah.
As far as this, and then you came down here, and there was some sort of sculpts and renders. Were these changed at all from what
Yeah.
had shown up at con?
Go ahead, Jason.
What?
I talked to
No,
you.
no, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So we're always changing things,
Yeah.
It's like, even though we got other things designed and it costs more money to redesign things, if we're not happy with it,
Yeah.
what's important is that we deliver on what we promised.
Sure.
And you look at Ken's art, it's pretty cool, and we wanted to really deliver on our original vision. So we had a designer, Kun, Moste Kun is his name. He goes by, I think it's Black Beard Batch on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And he did these designs for us. He's working with us on a lot of stuff. You'll see more as we go through. But
Okay.
we wanted him to redo Mato into just have more detail. If you could see the original design, this fits more in what we wanted, and what was given to us for the renders we showed wasn't as close to the look that we wanted. So we're happy.
So if you were referencing Mato right now?
No. This is I'm sorry. The Great Con. The Great Con.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay.
you.
Got it. So there were things here that you were catching and you're making little changes. So that's happening. That's just sort of the process with you all. And then of course this was like concept art for our big bad and some other things. So I would say go to the updates, check that out. If you've missed it, if you've been following, let's kind of close out this last one, because this one was a big deal and we'll see this one again. But I pointed out earlier as we were quickly scrolling through the rewards that mid-campaign you came up with a whole new character, and if I'm remembering, wasn't it based on like suggestions in some of the live streams, right?
Yeah, we weren't hitting the goal yet, and we wanted to offer something to help us get to funding. So we thought, why don't we look at what we have and see what we can come up with, and some character that was missing from our lineup in terms of representation. We have a lot of representation still to do, but based on what we had, we came up with Killian the Red, especially since our packaging artist is Irish. I pretend to be half Irish. My last name is Scotch Irish. So wanted to represent my ancestry and Ken's and who he is. And we came up with this design. We've changed the tattoos a little bit to make it easier for the factory to reproduce it. We'll have fun with that later on, with if we do other Irish or Celtic characters. We'll do
Celtic
Pictish. This is the Pict tattoos. So this was fun for us, and hopefully people are excited to see this guy. I think he looks as good as I had hoped for from the art. I hope people
I think he looks. I think he looks great, man. And I was really happy to see him added during the campaign, and to see what he actually looks like in rendered plastic form is really great. I love the deco, because if you look at like a lot of sort of like the body markings and stuff, they're a little bit thinner, and I even visually like, so there's a little level of artistic and fantasy sort of interpretation. And I think this is great, especially with the, this giant, big, bulky canvas, essentially, to have those big, bold swirls. I
Yeah.
think looks really great.
So do I.
And we just really wanted him to stand out. And if you look
Yep.
at this photo here, this render, if you look at
Mhm.
on your left side on his belt, you'll see what we have designed a weapon holder.
Oh yeah.
And that's gonna come with all of our figures. But like it just sits right over the belt, and it has like a little C, so you can put
Okay.
any weapon right there on the side.
So what I'm seeing here is like the C on its side, but
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay. So that
but
will
it
go
should
around the
be
handle.
and it should move around too, so you're not just
Very
stuck in
cool.
that fixed position.
Well, it's
So
a
like
C on
effectively,
the belt, and then
right,
there's
right here.
also and then there's also the loop, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it a
like a
loop
hook. It's a hook and a C.
and a C? Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
like
gotcha.
an R over the belt, so it sits
Okay.
on top of the belt,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Mhm.
that, right? And
Yeah.
then on the side it's a C to grab.
Perfect. Yep. So there's the
Yeah.
R,
I
folks,
see what
for
you're
those
saying. A
following
C
through,
on the
and then
bottom. I
here's
don't.
a C.
No, we're not
No,
going
no, no, no,
underneath
no.
of it.
No, no, no.
Just sitting on
I'm
top.
with you. I'm with you. It's this thing is
Yeah.
the C on it. It's like
Yeah.
so essentially we're looking at it like this. It's
Yeah.
Brick Something. It's a Lego minifig's hand like this. But anyway, so essentially, and you, like you said, it can swivel a little. So if I got the axe there, I can kind of tilt it back. So it's very cool.
Yeah.
So that's going to be standard on coming with all the figs now.
Yeah. Yep.
Weapon storage.
And then with Cronin and
Uh-huh.
Ogun, we're having on their back of their harness and on their armor. There's also going to be a hole, and a peg with a C also so they can put the weapon on their back.
What's up, Travis? Yeah, Travis, who is one half of the Toy Elite takeover on Tuesday nights. They were talking about this figure. He had some opinions. Man, you're not wrong, but I offered my thoughtful response to your take. And yes, I it sounds like you heard me and you realized that I was correct. Okay. But yes, no, like because we were talking about that sort of like where this comes from and why it's blue versus, and I know you guys you've demonstrated that from the beginning, that you're actually, even though this is a fantasy genre or IP, you're basing it in things that like you're taking real world inspiration from. So I got where it was coming from. I dig it. And I also love the symmetry, but the asymmetry right here in the face and then this piece. So that's cool. That's really cool. Is that, are you expecting, I'm assuming that's just going to be pad printed or tampo?
Yeah,
Is that what you're thinking?
I would like it to be tampo. This way, it's the same every time.
Consistent.
Yeah. So, the factory will tell us what works best, and if they're able to make sure that it comes out consistently and it doesn't rub off, then we'll go with whatever is the best for that.
So on that note, Justin's asking, will you put a fantasy spin on the realistic characters? And I'm not totally sure, but like, I'm thinking you already kind of do, but Justin, would you clarify, like, is there a particular kind of thing you're looking for? Are you looking, but what do you're nodding. Is there a particular response you had to that comment?
I think that's exactly our thing. We take real world inspiration and then we put our little fantasy spin on it, because not everyone in the world can look like this. I mean, I do, but
well, and the axe. I mean, his banshee axe. It screams when he's cleaving people's heads off.
Yeah.
So there's a little fantasy.
I think I missed that. Was that in the original blurb?
Yeah, it's in the. I think we put it on our Kickstarter. If not,
let's go ahead and let's take a segue there. Let's pivot since you brought it up. Is there thoughts on how eventually people might hear some of these story bits and character bits and lore bits? Have you thought about that much at all? Are you tossing some ideas on what form that might take?
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of art from Ken Coleman that we want to maybe put into a mini comic. We
Okay.
have a whole bunch of art from our concept artists, and who also does like the character art, Desar, who we'd also love to do a mini comic with. We have perhaps even a card game in the works using the artwork that like Magic the Gathering style card game.
Okay.
Because Ken does that with the like Masters card art that he does. He has like a card game like that, and we were like, hey, you know, you've made all this art for us, might as well turn it into the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're working on that as well. And then
Very
you know, we'd love to do actual animation or
Right.
Hero Quest style game, video games. You know, well, the sky's the limit. The limit's the sky. So you know,
Sure.
whatever we can grow to do, we want to do it. Especially how we have a more brutal take on things. And there's been some cool barbarian movies, but it's been a long time since we've seen kind of like a brutal well, The Northman was probably the last, and that movie was great. So who doesn't want more things like that, you know? So.
No, man, the prospect of all of that is really exciting. But I also know that, like, for folks like Travis in particular, who was kind of you know, riding a little bit, but I know he's all about lore and he inhales that stuff, and that makes him love the toys even more and want more. And that's, I think, you know, I think that's true for a lot of us. That's how we fell in love with Motu, whether it was mini comics or the cartoons, or, you know, GI Joe comics, GI Joe cartoons. So in 2025, what does that look like? And so, you know, I just wondered if you've given that much thought, or if we're going to get like, is it like on the packaging? I know you've sent art that we're going to look at in a second, the packaging art. But is there going to be like little blurbs on there, you think, that you'll be putting that stuff together?
If we look at the packaging art, whenever,
yeah, let's go ahead.
I put some of the story that we've created onto that.
So. Why don't we wait on that? Actually, we'll get there, because I kind of have these things lined up. You shared on Instagram that you wanted to talk about this, right? You posted this, and I appreciate it that you wanted to look at some of the factory samples and this paint master done by Nico.
That's not the paint master. That's the factory.
This isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the factory sample.
It looks just like Nico's, which is what impressed.
So they have. So this was pushed out of a mold.
You should have the pictures for. Did I send the pictures of them?
You might have. So I have the video. No, I didn't get a side-by-side shot.
Oh, come on, James, get it together.
So this wasn't pushed out of a mold. They recreated all the files. And I guess ZBrush, right? They recreate everything, and then they do their own 3D printing. And then once they do their 3D printing, they understand the engineering, they understand how everything works and fits together, and then they go and throw paint on it, and they're like, okay. And then they send it to us. We'll check it out. We'll check out the 3D sample, the 3D printed sample, and we'll check out the color and make sure everything is like, because, you know, pictures are pictures, and you can't really get a good, accurate without it being in your hand. So so we'll wait for that, and then once we're like, yes, I mean, this is, so that's when they'll cut the mold. That's when they'll cut steel.
Yeah, and even though this is another 3D printed sample, it's pretty much the mold. It's essentially how it's going to look when they how, you know, the direction we want it to be. So it's designed for the mold. So even though it's 3D printed, it's designed for the mold. So now that we've agreed on that, the head needs to be a little smaller. The one with the shield is the factory version. And
got it. So this is what you sent over, painted by Nico. They take that, which is always fascinating to me. And they just look at it and replicate it. I'm assuming, I don't, do you send them Pantones or anything, or do you not even do that? Do they not?
Yeah,
want
we do.
that?
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Only because, you know, when I was at Legion's Con, we were able to do the intern for a day, and it tripped me out that they don't. They paint the thing. They send it. And on the other end, they literally just look at it and they're like, okay, well, let's recreate it how we think we would recreate it. And
Vonner says it was just, Vonner is like, if you send them the Pantone, then they can't get the color wrong. And it's
they
a
match
lot quicker to match exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I was just surprised that that's what the horsemen do. I was like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
trick.
well, sometimes also when the artist is painting, paint gets mixed up. So even though
Right.
they use this Pantone, they
Yeah.
added a little
Yes.
bit here and there. So we had sent them Pantones, and it was a little off. So that's when we sent the sample, and that's when they recreated it pretty much perfectly.
Okay.
As you can
Nice.
already tell from the two, I resent it in HD. I don't know if this is the HD.
Yeah, I'm
version.
getting the latest ones you sent.
And if you can see that we already redesigned the back a little bit, and now
Right.
even though the one that people will be getting, that hole on the back of it is for the weapon holder. So
This hole
Yes.
here,
That.
it's
Yeah,
that
it's
will
gonna be a
a
hole.
cutout. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, and actually ties the design together really well.
Yeah, it
'cause
looks
does
better
look
too.
cool.
Yeah.
Well done. Well
Yeah,
done.
that's Penn.
folks.
Penn did that. He's a genius. Literally a genius.
So again, the one on the right is what the factory sends back based on your model here.
The one
right?
with the shield is the
shield.
factory.
Sorry,
The
I said the
one
right
without,
earlier.
and the one with the sticker there is. It also tells you that's the
Paintmaster.
Paintmaster.
Got it. Yep.
From
yep.
us. Yeah.
From us. Mhm. And
Yeah,
it's
and
pretty
it looks
much
really
perfect.
great.
Yeah, I think the head is a little larger, and we're just going to shrink it just a touch. It makes the proportions look all that much better. And then the paint master there is also on the 2.0 body, so the shoulders are smaller, and the shoulders are bigger on the version everyone will be getting. So
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is what you sent over. Are you this and this is based on the files of this one, or a sort of a tweaked version?
on the 2.5. So the
Okay.
version that they're using is the 2.5 with the larger
2.5.
shoulders.
That's the
It's got
latest.
better articulation.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's pretty much perfect. Just need to shrink the
Man,
head.
I'm so curious to see all the different versions and
Mhm.
just to see how amazing they are. And you guys are like, no, it can be even better.
Yeah.
But
You should see
I
the
res- I
1.0.
respect it.
Oh man.
The 1.0 I still have in pieces here. And
What did I see at Legion's Con?
I
Do you
think
know?
it showed
2.0 and the 2.5.
yeah.
Okay.
We
okay,
had
okay.
the 1.0 there, but I kept it in the
Yeah.
in
In the shame box.
I mean, we're proud of it
Yeah.
initially. If it had worked like we wanted it to, it wouldn't have been bad. But Penn came over and used his magic wand and just made everything better. So we're even more happy. We got exactly what we wanted, if not better. So
Before I forget this, people are already kind of jumping ahead on some of the things. Are there, you think maybe like weapons packs? Because you do have a lot of really cool accessories that
yeah,
people I think are paying attention to. What do you
I've
think?
I've always been kind of like weapons packs, but Jason has always been like weapons packs. And so everyone wants it. We're gonna have to do it. It's just if people want it, we're gonna have to give it to them. So just keep telling us to get weapons pack. First, we're gonna get these figures out, and then we'll do weapons packs.
First things first, people.
Yes.
But I just think it's brutal. So like as you were saying it, like it's a brutal realm. Oh, the idea of you all putting out accessories could be really interesting based on the way you all are thinking and doing.
Absolutely. And you're already thinking what we're probably gonna do. Probably.
I have an idea for a weapons pack. Not just the weapons
Yeah?
themselves, but how we can present them.
Oh,
Awesome.
okay.
Awesome. I love it. I love that. Give us a little bit of world in there. And yeah, it's cool. So what is this one is the paint master that you sent out, and this was video of that.
No, that is the factory test sample.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm totally
It's okay.
mixing
No,
this
it's
up.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is them outputting stuff based on your files. And
Yeah,
are they sending you the video and then you shot the video, or is this
They sent us this video.
okay, got it.
And we're waiting on them to send this to us so we can get it in hand. Hopefully they might be sending it with Crowman and Cronin. I don't know. We'll probably have them just go ahead and send this and pay the extra shipping for that.
Mhm.
and then we'll get Crowman and Cronin after that, because we really want to get this in hand as soon as possible because they're all on the same base body. So we want this as soon as possible so we can make sure it feels right. Because even though they're doing a 3D print, it is higher quality 3D printing,
Sure.
and we'll be able to really push the range more, and that'll get even better once we get the test shot from the mold and so on and so forth. Because the test shot will be, the mold's made, they put whatever plastic they have lying around, so he'll be pink and green and yellow and white, and we'll really like hammer it and give it to his kid and see how tough it is and make sure that we can have fun with it. So
Kid test. No,
Yeah.
he looks really good, man. I'm really excited. And he looks like the body itself is awesome, but all of
Yeah.
his gear, the armor, all the
Mhm.
detail that you've managed to work in there, and the paint that Nico worked in there to kind of give it that weathered and lived in look. Fantastic, man.
Yeah. Penn
Good
does an
choices
amazing
in
job with
talent.
the detail of the accessories. I mean, if you could only zoom in on his armband or the ornate collar, he adds like
Yeah.
it just looks really it's so detailed.
Yeah,
And I
even
love the dry brushing they were able to achieve.
Yeah, the
I
dry
really
brushing is
want
so
that to
good.
be something that people can get in hand, because it really brings out the detail of all, like the textures that he put on everything, so that it's more than
Yeah, I
just
see it here. Look at
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
God.
really a company that wants like intricacy and detail and texture, So
So you can see like if he had his little hammer, forging the iron, himself.
Right.
It's got the hammer dents, right?
Yeah,
So it's not like perfect and
Nice.
shiny. It's nice and
Mhm.
rugged like he is.
yeah.
God of steel, right? Of metal, Ogun.
Iron.
Iron
Steel
specifically.
steel needs more carbon and I think tin in it. I
Okay.
think to
All
make
right.
it.
Well done. Look at you.
I
I
watch.
think.
There's this. What's his name? He is a survivalist in like Australia, and his whole thing. He's been out there for years, and his whole thing is like, how would you make things?
Right.
And one of the big things he ever did was he made iron from primitive technology or primitive living is the name of his YouTube. Anyway, I love that
So
stuff.
he figured out
I
some
think I've seen some of his
metallurgy,
stuff.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
It's
that? Sorry, Jake?
it's fantastic, like what people
Yeah.
can do and what people have done,
Well,
back in the day. It's crazy. It's so cool.
exactly.
I just want to
Yeah.
key in on that dagger.
Uh-huh.
That is still the wrong color. It's too shiny. It's supposed to be the same like pewter metallic of Ogun's sword there. So the version people will be getting will be the same type as the other weapon. Sorry.
No, you're great. I just, if someone's watching this and going like, "Oh, I don't want that color," like I genuinely feel badly for you. Enjoy what's here, man. This stuff is great,
Yeah.
but that's cool. You want to be that detail oriented. I think everything here is looking really solid. Like I said, Ogun was like the character that caught my attention right away. And then I think from there it was I'm forgetting the name of the Sumerian because I was like, oh my God.
Yurik.
Yeah,
Uruk,
Uruk, how long have we existed without seeing like that kind of armor and that kind of beard and in toy form? So definitely check this stuff out on the Brutal Realm Instagram. But some of the stuff that I'm gonna share is from there, but also things that they've sent. So as far as the link, as far as the links go, none of it's up. So I'm not gonna be, even though it says down there like there's the links, there's not gonna be a whole lot of links to what you're seeing on the screen. So watch the stream and go back and replay and screenshot and do what you will, but always check out the Brutal Realm Instagram for updates. Let's go ahead and take a look. We kind of already looked at him, but I do want to go ahead and bring him up here. And there was a thought. Oh, real quick. You already answered him, but yes, we are in fact live, Hoth the Basher. And it is 4:51 on Sunday, the 23rd in the year 2025. So there.
Absolutely.
I don't know what this whole farts thing, but there is a small critique, and Ray, here, let me hide my face behind Ray's. Farts, I have a small critique. Perhaps the blue tattoos meet too closely to the middle of the chest on the figure.
I hate when
Any thoughts?
autocorrect changes words, and you get things like farts and stuff.
Yeah, I'm
When
thinking
people
maybe he
are,
meant arts.
yeah, or
Folks,
like, yeah, who
folks.
knows?
Or friend, I don't know.
A friend, probably. But yeah, I can see why you might think that, but I like it. If maybe, yeah, I think
He's flexing is the
something
issue,
good.
Ray. He's
Yeah,
flexing, so it's bringing
there's
it
a
together.
there's a huge cavity in that chest.
Yeah.
Um,
But
those things are farther apart than you realize. It's
but
like
he
a
does
continuum.
love the coloring, and again, Travis is really wanting lore, but that's the way he collects and how his brain works. He thinks the head looks good from just the screen. I think he was talking about the Ogun.
Ogun,
When
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is jumping ahead a little bit, but let's go ahead and entertain it. Justin's wondering how the progress on designing creatures like snake men or other monsters for the I keep forgetting, what are we calling the primal
Primal. Yeah.
the primal realm. Well,
Yeah,
the
you can
monsters
call
from
it whatever
Good.
you want to. Beast realm, bestial realm, primal realm. It's all
Whatever,
those
yeah.
things.
But
It's just not anything worse than that,
would the
like
monsters come?
bestiality realm or something.
Yeah, no.
I heard it, I let it go, but you couldn't resist. Will the monsters come from other cultures too, or are you thinking about making up combinations, or
I
made up, or a combination of both? What are you all
I
thinking? How are you going to lean towards creatures?
I love all that. I love like how Avatar has
Mm,
two different types of animals that we're
Yeah.
used to
mhm,
together,
mhm.
or like Dungeons and Dragons, like the owl bear.
Oh, bear.
Owl
Yep,
bear is
yep.
Yeah.
so cool.
So
I
cool.
have an idea for maybe a combination of a bear and something else, or a whole bunch of other things. But we're probably going to do everything if we can. The more people keep buying our figures, the more we're going to make. So
Mhm, mhm,
we never run out of ideas. Jason's always hitting me up like, "Ooh, let's do this, let's do this." I'm like, "Jason, we gotta finish this," and then I'm like, "Wait, but let's do this."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just as bad as he is. So we definitely want to do beasts and things like that. This isn't ours. This is of course Motu, the new Panther. But we've got some really cool ideas
Okay.
for bestial figures in the future. So hopefully people are excited to see what other beast realm figures come out.
Oh, I 100% people are excited. It's something that I hear a lot of people sort of asking about. In fact, there was something that you all shared that was like at the 300,000 mark that people here are even asking about today. So let me go ahead and bring that up real quick, and we'll get this out of the way.
I'm
There
scared.
was a
Oh,
picture of this concept of this dude named
Lion
Lion.
Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, and Christopher Bouchard has a couple questions, so I'll go back to them. Specific question around the sword, and then I believe there's a couple of other
Be
Lion Lord
longer. Look at
questions.
how big it is compared to his body. It's like
Okay,
more than
so
that.
it sounds like if you're
I
answering
like
that, you're
it.
like, you think it's pretty long.
That's what she said. Yeah. I think
I'm not
it's,
going to say what I said
I
earlier, but
think
yeah.
it's more
I
than
think what throws off the eye is the width of the blade
Right. So it feels
versus the
squat.
length. So it
Yeah.
would look longer if the width wasn't as wide.
And
But
I love
it's a
how
pretty long blade
yeah.
already.
I love how wide it is too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. It's a
So
good
really,
size.
we're talking, if this is in scale with the character you're thinking, so like I'm assuming, like, say from the crotch past the head almost.
yeah, it
Mhm.
goes if you really were to line it up, it goes
Mhm.
from his mid thigh to the top of his
Right,
head. And I think
right.
that's a
That's
pretty good
pretty
sized sword.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come out with shorter versions in the future and even
I was
longer
gonna say,
versions
right, so that he could
past
like
that.
swing it around and it kind of grows as
No,
he
no,
swings
no.
it
It would
around.
be 3 different versions of
No,
the
no,
same
but I
sword.
mean like
Who
in the
likes a sword
story.
that gets longer as you swing it? That's stupid.
Well, I mean, kids pay for those little plastic ones that do that all the time, but sure.
Cool.
So
He's got
people
like
wondering
a
about line work.
dagger version. He's got a long sword
Uh-huh.
version, and he's got a middle. It all makes sense. If you don't think about it, it all makes perfect sense.
But yeah, so this is definitely still something y'all are working on. It sounds like that's all, you were talking earlier about the beast buck, so that's all there. I'm trying to remember if there were anything else, but it
Did we
doesn't
share?
look like
Some
it.
people say they've never seen his head sculpt. I think I shared it on
We
our.
we did. It
Yeah,
was
So
at a certain point, it
yeah,
was there, but I don't remember where now.
is it
It was
on? I
somewhere
don't
here.
think
Oh,
I
there you
put it
go.
on the. No, that's the old one.
Oh,
I didn't put it on the Kickstarter. I think I shared it. Did I share it on Instagram? Here, I'll just send it to you right now. Okay.
do it. But there, yeah, you can kind of see the length of the sword. It's pretty killer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Long and girthy. Yes.
Hey yo. Whoa.
I forget if I had him in my thing. I got to go back and see that.
And for people that say that they're upset that they missed out, so you can go to Big Bad Toy Store. You can go to Gun Damn It, but I think Big Bad Toy Store has the best deal possible. And we will be launching our website soon.
Okay, that's where is that related to the backer kit, or
We're
is that
gonna
going to be
we're gonna
separate
do
from the backer kit?
we're gonna do the backer kit first because everybody's like, when is the backer kit? But we
Okay.
wanted to, show more renders for what you're actually getting because, we got our Kickstarter funded on a lot of concept art, and to
Uh-huh.
just launch the backer kit and not show anything different,
Right.
I thought would be a disservice to everybody, and we wanted to have more done. So when we launch the backer kit, it'll be when we have probably Chief Monto's render completely done, Grimskull and the Shaddar.
Okay.
When we're about to go into factory.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
right when we're about to go into producing, hopefully several weeks, 3 or 4 weeks before that, we're going to launch our backer kit. This way we can get as many orders in as possible, so people can get everything that they wanted if they missed out on anything.
Red 5 was asking, will the beast figures be naked bucks or have armor? Also, will they have tails? It sounded like they will have tails. But they will have armor, I'm assuming, as well.
Initially, they the basic primal figures will not. The Monkey King, the Black Panther, and the Werewolf will not. Lion Lord will, as you can see in his concept art. But the basic primals will not. They're getting more overlays than he has. They're going to have a tail. So the value is still going to be there. We're basically giving Lion Lord he should have been a deluxe, but it's like we're just happy people.
Got it. That's right. I forgot. For some reason in my head, I thought the Monkey King had armor, but I guess it's just the crown.
Which is removable, and he's the Monkey King. He won't have the shoulder overlay like the Werewolf and the Panther has, because Monkey Kings are a little bit more slender, but he will come
live.
He will come with the staff. Let's scroll past this.
No.
Before anymore.
No, clearly, folks, someone has been traumatized by the experience and the feedback, and let's just say he's learned his lesson, maybe, and we'll move on. Or maybe we just don't need to talk about that right now. Real quick, what's up, RG? Hello to you. Hello to NYC Figure Fanatic. Thanks for joining us, folks. And Mint with card as well. People have all sorts of interesting things to say. Ray Paz said, hold up. There was a comment about Snake Man. Are you actually doing Snake Man?
Not.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Not yet. Who knows when we will? Because that's going to take all. If we do a Snake Man, it's going to need a whole different design to it.
Yeah.
unless we like use the base body and do, but
Just say
we don't
no.
want to do half-ass.
Yeah,
I
just say
I
no
never
right now. Just say no.
I can't.
It's fine. It's
I don't know
fine.
how to. I don't know how to.
Ray wants to know. He knows you guys have spoke of other realms. Will there be sort of a heroic realm for superheroes? Is that the kind of thing you've thought
Jason,
about?
tell him all about.
Yeah,
Break it
Hero
down,
Realm.
Jason.
We've thought about this. It's going to be Hero Realm. Yep,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we already have.
So
the
you guys are
website for it.
really, really just thinking, where you want to head in the future, and I love that. I love that. Berserk, you didn't miss a thing. We just started. So welcome, Ronald. Good to see you. Just on time. First as always. Let's see.
It's a good question.
Folks have
Thanos.
ordered on the Kickstarter, and Athena with the first main ones, and then Thanos had a question down here. But when are the dwarves?
Soon.
You thinking fantasy? Yeah, fantasy sort of creatures.
That's how this all started. Jason was making a dwarf action figure, and I was making primal figures, primates, and we both liked each other's stuff and started talking. And I was like, "Hey, you want to go into business with me?" He was like, "Absolutely." And he's been all about it ever since. So yeah, we will. I have to deliver on dwarves. I promised Jason from the jump that we would do dwarves, and we will be doing dwarves sooner rather than later. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And our dwarves are going to be different than what everyone else is seeing. This is Jason's. I need to stop talking.
No, man, I love listening to you talk.
They're going to be like 12 feet tall? No.
Yeah, yes.
Well, a lot of people think Yurik is a dwarf.
Yeah, with his beard. He's got the big beard, and yeah.
Our dwarves
And
will be different.
shiny armor.
Our dwarves
Shiny
will be
armor,
different in that they'll be not as completely armored as everyone
Right,
else.
because when you think of a normal fantasy dwarf, you would think, oh, he comes from underground. He mines jewels. He mines precious metals, mithril, and he wears this heavy ass armor. I mean, like, not all dwarves, not our dwarves. They're not
barbarians.
Our dwarves are barbarians. I mean, some of them are living alongside of Ogun, and they're also African, and they're also Asian. They're also Native American.
Yep.
They're all the the different races that we've come to love.
So, real quick, then you're thinking the dwarves and that aspect of fantasy would actually be in the brutal realm. Am I hearing that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, are there other thoughts on other?
Oh yeah, Dark Realm is
species?
Jason's.
Or no, aside from the other realms, but within brutal, are there other, like, that's interesting to me to know.
Yeah,
there could be dwarves. Are there other sort of other species?
Brutes.
What are we thinking?
Brutes, Titans.
And Titans.
Yep,
Perfect. Okay.
And then there'll be female primal figures as well. So there's a lot of different bodies we're going to be doing. Yeah. Brute scale is next, and Titan and dwarves and female primals are all the next bodies we're working out. Brute is officially the next body we're going to be working on outside of everything we've shown.
Women. Sure.
Yeah.
Question about the brutes, your bigger characters, like, how do body mass, how does that work? Are they big in every direction?
Brute think 7-inch scale, Titan think 8-9-inch scale. So.
But are they the same builds as these guys?
Bigger,
thicker.
Everyone just with us, everything just gets bigger. Nothing gets small.
Hey man, in the dios, I need to see like the livestock that exists in this world that people are feasting on to get the protein and the
rivers are laced with HGH and creatine.
Done. Female dwarves?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You got to.
Absolutely.
You got to. Okay, very cool.
For Vonner. Vonner likes female.
No.
He's not here to address things.
Someone's gonna kill me one of these days.
I don't think he would deny it though.
No, he would. Oh God, he would go on a whole tirade. So
okay,
it's a good thing he's not here.
let's keep it. So we looked a lot at Ogun. So I think everything you've shown in terms of renders and what we saw today was great. What we haven't seen yet is this. So
stuff, yeah.
this is the packaging that you sent over. We're looking at a splayed out box for printing purposes. And so I'm looking, this is the front with, I'm assuming that's a window?
Yeah. I didn't mean to send the one with the figure in it.
That's fine. So this is the window with the sort of figure kind of
exactly
put in there for a placeholder.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it'll be clear plastic. I'm not that good with Photoshop, so forgive me. I'm doing all the design on the packaging art.
I think you do a fantastic job.
It looks really good, man. It looks great.
But this is what we came up with. We've worked through several iterations, and I think this works the best for this initial wave. For everything we want to show off and achieve. The box has streaks of blood on it. Our wonderful art by Ken is displayed as much as possible. The awesome renders by Penn are on the back of the box, and then we've got a cross sell, because when I was a kid looking at the G.I. Joe classified retro cards, and on the back and seeing the other figures, and all the artists, we definitely want
to finish your thought, but you're saying a cross sell down here. So I'll go with you. Keep going.
And I love showing off what else is in the line. So this is all of Ken's artwork too, so you can see better. We really want to perhaps do maybe a retro card where it's really just Ken's art on the card. Maybe in the future, if we do like a reissue or something, because he does a lot of cool work. But this is the cross sell, just showing the art as big as possible on the thing.
If you need help with some Photoshop or some layout work, I know a guy, but we can talk about that. And can I offer a quick point of feedback that I just caught? And can I pull a Ray pause here for a second? What's up, Ray? The only thing I would say is this, and then you mirror this. The only issue with that is you're not actually representing the character that way. Like one of these is wrong effectively, right? And so you might want to consider that. You might just want to repeat the right orientation, if that makes sense. Because one of these is incorrect. The same way. Because one of them is a mirror image, and it wouldn't technically sort of be accurately represent the character. Just a thought, because your designer spent so much time thinking about what side is left, what side is right, and all of that, and you're just a thought. Anyway.
Well, that ruins all of my work.
No, it doesn't. Hey, Cat's the part where I offered you assistance earlier, and we'll go back. So I'm never one to offer a critique without offering potentially some assistance.
But this is cool. Critiques all day long without any help whatsoever. So no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
But let's take the moment to recognize the folks here. That's the two of you there. Penn Norris, lead, who we've heard the name throughout, lead designer.
I got to hit next line on David Vonner.
Right here, yeah.
Lead designer David.
David Vonner, production manager. Then new break. You're good. This is temporary stuff. This is proof of concept. Desar Yuarta, conceptual artist. Ken Coleman, packaging artist and designer. Christopher Nunez, head sculpts. Jeremy Wilson, head sculpts. Min Tu Nang, if you know, head sculpts and miscellaneous.
Which we'll see miscellaneous later on in the design.
Nice. Okay. And then
for those that don't know, Christopher Nunez is Orbis on Instagram. He's done a lot of amazing work. Yeah, Orbis 22. Thank you.
Can I just say who designed the logo? And kudos to them. I think I mentioned that to you before, but I really love this logo.
I did.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. Or wait, Jason, did you? Jason designed it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
That's okay. Yeah. I just
you claim that with such confidence, though. Respect, sir.
I'll take all the credit.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Oh, love it. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of this stuff is because of Jason. So I know you guys go back and forth too.
And
yeah.
Crowman, super excited for this. Again, I don't know who's doing your Jason, sort of like sub logos. Beautiful. I love the sort of influence. It reflects the character very much so. these renders are great, and I know folks have probably seen it, but if you haven't, take a look, man. I've been poring over these. I really love all the accessories. So the way you guys are approaching the individual designs of these, the things that these characters come with based on story and character, well done. That's the kinds of things us nerds love. I absolutely love the deco of this. I know for a while you were getting feedback from some people who are very wrong, so I'm glad you stuck with it. Looks great. Looks really great. And then packaging.
There we go. Yeah, that's Crowman, and with his artwork, it's two different characters. So I wanted to show off the two different sides of who he is. So this one we don't have to worry about the false mirror thing because we have two different views of him. So yeah.
Ebony Leopard just pointed out, like, you can show a pose with a shield, or even just show the shield because it is a character in itself on one side of the package.
For Ogun.
That's a good point.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't know if that would, but that's a good point.
It is a good. Yeah.
Just just a thought, and the world has changed to, like, we know the reality is most of us aren't walking into stores necessarily to see these on a shelf in the same way, but a lot of us love to have the boxes and they line them up, especially those spines. I know people do that with their Masterverse and or their Black Series and they put them all there and just look at that art. So this is cool. What's it? Almost from a distance it looked like he had a lollipop.
Can you see the writing next to the cross though? Because that has the story. I don't know if it'll blow up. I can read it to you, but
I see it. When the lust for blood in battle becomes too great, Crowman's inner demon takes hold. His face melts away, exposing the crooked demon within that emissary of death. Death Red.
That's
he becomes.
I gotta fix that. Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't have the red. Yeah. Still learning, still working on things, guys.
No, don't worry about it. Like, dude, you're doing great stuff. You're all good. Crow's possessed axe drinks the blood. Damn. The blood of those it fells, increasing its strength, autonomy, and lethality. You would do well to die by another's hand than his, as the demon gives no quarter. Damn. There he is, fully demonic. This thing sucking up the blood.
Yeah.
Very cool. Have you mentioned before bloody variants? Is that a thing that's?
I think we talked about it. Yeah, we'd probably do bloody variants in the future. Maybe since Big Bad Toy Store, their colors are black and red. Maybe do something with them.
Good.
Yeah. So. We'll see where that goes. We definitely are going to do that because we love the aesthetic and especially there's a lot of barbarian characters out there and a lot of action figures, but and we're all adults collecting this stuff, but it's missing that adult level, and
which is again part of your brand. So that's why I ask more than anything.
Yeah,
I know McFarlane loves to make bloody stuff, but it made sense for like Mortal Kombat, like 100%. Right? That's how we know those characters, and it just seems like a really cool way to sell variants that people might want to see. So
yeah, we'll probably get really crazy with that if we can. So
there's that clip in action.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And he will also still have the one on his left side as well.
Yes,
because he comes with a sword as well. So now we have weapon storage for most of their weapons. Not everyone will be able to carry all of their weapons on the clips, but in their hands and on their backs and things like that. So
sure. Yeah. I really love the pauldron, the way that turned out. That looks really great. What creature is that meant to be? Is that meant to be a lion?
Yeah.
A stylized lion, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And it's on a ball joint, so it'll move with the articulation. And
so it's connected to that strap around the bicep.
Okay, that was my question. So the ball is here on the strap, and then is the strap a loose piece, right, that wraps around that thing?
Yeah, but it can't go past the bicep. It's molded literally to the bicep.
Okay.
So you won't have to worry about, even on our prototypes, it doesn't fall down.
You can take the strap off. You could
You
take
could.
off the bicep and take the strap off if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it is the strap is molded like to that bicep. It's not
No,
physically
I got
molded
you.
to it,
So
but
it has the
it
negative
has the
of the
shape.
muscle.
Yes, it has a
Yeah.
negative. Yeah, exactly.
So it like sits there
Yep.
perfectly and won't
Thank you.
move.
Yes.
Love that. Well done. Packaging. These toys are going to look amazing in these boxes. Very cool.
Look
Very,
at that
very cool.
stupid mirroring. Only an idiot would do that. His pauldron isn't even on that side. You.
I'm just wondering if
Idiot.
who would it be if a Penn hadn't said anything or hasn't seen it?
No, Penn hasn't seen it. I was
Oh.
doing these today. While
Just
I
a
was,
thought, because you know they you design it a particular way, and heads up this.
yeah, I see
something's going on.
it's wrong there.
Sorry, that's my eye. I can't help it, but regardless,
No, it's good.
overall,
It's good
conceptually,
because I mean the feedback is what we
You should be
we like
able to
to.
flip it though, and do it on the other side because it's a ball. So if you were to heat and pop the bicep, flip it, you could put it on the other side too. So it's not
okay.
wrong.
I think because it's
Fair enough.
I think because it's the left bicep is shaped differently because the tricep on the back is different
That's what I'd
than
assume.
the right side. I
Mhm.
think I mean
You couldn't.
you could
couldn't
maybe do a
flip it?
little sanding and put it on the other side.
I'm gonna have to. If I hadn't sent off
You're
the,
just struggling to be
I-
right here.
I am.
Okay.
grasping at straws here.
Let's see.
I mean,
This
it'd
is,
be cool
this
if
is
you
what
get
it
two of
feels
them
like
and
to
you
be
could put.
Ryan Ting.
If you get two of them, you could put one on each side. Have two pauldrons.
Hey,
You
calm
okay?
down, buddy. Calm it down.
Ebony Leopard is saying, good, the figure will have a bio. Indie companies mess up by not putting the lore of the character on the box. Yeah, you know, I think it is helpful. It is helpful to kind of know who you're getting. I know some of us end up just sort of ignoring it anyways because we're driven by the visuals. So it's better. I agree that it's better to have than to not. And you're building the world. Like, it's not just about Cronin. It's about the world of Brutal Realm. And there's also, you know, Crowman in it and Mato, and you need to collect them all. There were some comments. There was a comment here about, and I lost it, but about environmental backgrounds inside the boxes. Is that, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Environmental inserts inside, because they kind of love getting
So
a
like
little
a
bit of
different
picture
environment based on the character.
That's a
Maybe
good
that's
idea.
what he's mentioning. But
Maybe in the future.
it's obviously a cost.
Yeah.
And a
time.
thing that could potentially be a mistake that gets made, or, you know, another thing for the factory to sort out, right?
What I'd really like to do is have the full like insert of Ken's artwork inside, and then like a full story on the background. That's something I'd like to do in the future inside the box, but I don't know how well the figures will be able to be seen. So maybe in the future we could do like a two-sided thing where on the opposite side of the insert is artwork and story. So you know,
smart.
Yeah, for sure. Like, any reason, and like, I'll just offer this, any reason that you can kind of create for us to not necessarily just want to toss it and or like cut it out and keep it like a card like that would be dope to like hang on a wall or like whatever, right? So that's cool. And there are folks like Quip who loves to keep stuff absolutely mint in box. So oh, and then he says, do not number these figures. It's going to mess with his brain once there's a number missing, or
they're barbarians. They don't know how to count.
Hey man, you know what the Sumerians invented? No, anyways, moving on. Oh snap! Bloody variants are cool for sure. Like for a store exclusive or a show thing that you're going to. It's another setup, but technically they're just creating the same figure, and then it's one additional, well, not one, but some deco hits. So anyway, just a thought. And here's a message that I think you should see.
Ooh.
Which is great. And like, tell your friends, tell your folks, this is the indie toy thing. This is why I do this show. Hasbro's doing fine, regardless of what some of the current chatter is. They'll be fine. They'll be selling toys. If they want to sell toys, Mattel, they'll make a thing. People will talk about it. Brutal Realm, relatively niche, small, but we know that it has universal appeal based on the other things that we love. And then once people realize like the quality you're putting into these things compared to some of the toys they're getting, I've seen many people go like, whoa. So we just need to tell folks. So that's what it's about. Buy one and then each one teach one. Tell folks. So, and real quick, don't forget the women. Ebony Leopard said this, and you guys are already doing this. Any company that makes female anything will get a sell from me.
Yeah, if you look at Zesray Studios female figures, they're $200 on eBay. So, and then our highest selling figure, I think, was Athena. Jason,
I got all three
aside
of
from
those
Crowman,
women.
who was like the longest. He was been on the Kickstarter the longest. As soon as Thena gets unlocked, she like almost surpasses Crowman immediately.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was pointing out back in our chats, our threads, when I was looking at the analytics. I was like, whoa, people really wanted Athena based on that data, which is cool.
Wait till we show off more of her and like actually get like Mato right here, our first official reveal.
Renders,
yeah.
This is
okay.
finally,
well, I will say, go ahead.
This is finally everyone being able to see, including us. We literally just got this, and like right before.
So real quick, there was somebody asking earlier what was on your screen, Jason, and I'm correct.
I know, and I was like,
this is it.
Right?
That was it.
Yep, that was it.
That'd be cool in the future.
Christopher's Bouchard.
Bouchard. Yeah. So here is what Mato. This is the current version and render of Mato. We're actually sort of seeing what the files will look at, and I'll zoom out in a second so we can see the whole thing. But just admiring the detail. Look at the fringe, man.
Yeah. So the old you can see old renders on our Kickstarter, and that was on the 1.0 body with someone who doesn't know how to do Photoshop well, putting like Orbis's head sculpt on top of that. But this is officially the 2.5 body. Penn redesigned all of his accessories to fit perfectly on the body. Redid the weapons as well. Orbis's beautiful head sculpt there. It all fits, it all flows. We are so excited to find this. I didn't even really get to look at it that well. So this is like my first like really good look at it too. And man, it does not disappoint.
If you look at the half silhouette in the center right there, you can look at his belt buckle. It's empty because we designed where you can take off the belt buckle and replace it with other buckles.
Okay.
So if we do more Native American characters,
right? Yeah. And if you scroll all the way to the right, if you look at the back of the belt, that's how you're able to take the belt off of him. There's a belt buckle area right there.
Thanks to Jason.
Beautiful.
I would not have added that. So thanks, Jason, for everything being able to be taken off.
Yeah, no, that's huge for folks, especially customizers, but also people who just like to swap things around.
Yeah.
So this belt is separate from his sort of furry covering.
Yeah, his
that's our standard. Oh no, it's not. It's a new fur covering. It uses the same basic design. But we added other features to it. So
that would be like this part here, this sort of front.
So yeah, it's an overlay. The belt overlays onto the fur.
Yeah.
And then that piece that hangs down from his crotch area is new. And that is designed onto the fur.
Got it. So that's a new fur that's connected to the fur. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bahag is what we'd call it in the Philippines. I don't know what they would call that piece, but so yeah, no, this is cool, man. Thank you so much for bringing this over here. And this is another one of those characters that I was like, oh my God, they're making this. This is fantastic. All about it. He looks great. And I really love this, what he's got going on here and this fur. Normally, like I want to do sometimes like there's the soft goods and all that. Fur, I'm a big fan of actually, but there are some figure makers like this looks great. Spiro's Bushido Oni has like kind of a, molded soft goods, if you will, like rope and everything, and it looks fantastic. Yeah. Maestro Union does it, so I'm looking at that's gonna be like that. So, is the headdress gonna removable? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That was my open brain moment.
No, it's cool that it's hard for you to tell. So I mean,
Oh, for
that's
sure.
yeah.
This looks really great, guys. And
Yeah.
so this is going to have a lot of color based on the concept art and a lot of deco.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we're finished with the factory is more important that the files are ready for them. But
Uh-huh.
once we're finished with that part of it, we'll send it off to our artist Alexandri, who is doing our renders now. He did the one for Killian. Before that, our lead designer who designed this also did our renders. But we finally found someone who's capable of doing the level of renders that Penn was. So you'll be seeing full color renders and poses soon.
Okay.
So look forward to
Very
that
cool.
with the additional weapons as well designed.
Right, because he doesn't have all his weapons here. Is that right?
That's
He's
right.
missing his
Yeah.
Gunstock War Club.
That's right.
Mhm.
And Mirko Caldera is saying everything is amazing. Are you planning to split these in waves, or are they all produced all at once? That's right. It's been a while. Could you break down all the different figures that are coming out in assortments? How are you doing that?
So officially, we're definitely going to break it into waves. We really want to ship as many of the male figures as possible. Right now, including Mato, that'll be 8. We're working on Grimskull next and the Shaddar, which have 3 different faceplates. This way, the first wave will at least be hopefully 10 characters, which is almost half. We'd like to get more than that if we can, but we really want to at least ship those 10 to start off, and then the other 10 or 11 may be the next wave. We may have to break it up again, but we'd really like to.
I know you're talking numbers, but is it based on like similarity of body type that you're thinking these numbers will be?
It's easier to design for this base body because it's done.
Right.
And we want to ship before our Kickstarter launch date, because we promised that we would have figures in people's hands by then. And we have a whole bunch of conventions to go to, and we'd love for us to not just be standing around there, me talking endlessly and Jason having to listen to me blab, and other people as well.
I love listening to you.
So we want to actually have figures to give to people, to sell to people, taking pictures. So we want to ship before the summer. So yeah. If that answers that question.
It does. These figures are brutally awesome. It makes sense. And so but it sounds like which exact figures within each sort of assortment or wave is still being determined.
Yeah. Well, all the males first, and then females next.
Okay, got it. So you really are talking the name characters, Killian, Mato, really all of them, and the warriors. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. So
that's a huge delivery then. Okay, got it.
Thank you. That's good to hear. Yeah. So the basic barbarian warriors, Jagun, Krieger, and Chiton, Ogun, Croman, Cronin, Matu, and Killian. So that's 10.
Damn.
And wait, is it? Yeah. And then Grimskull, if I didn't already say that, and the Shaddar. Wait, is that more? I can't do math. So yeah, we hope to ship,
like I said,
yeah,
past 6 it was like whoa, and these are they're big figures, so yeah, that's going to be a healthy addition to your shelves, folks. Reinforce those shelves.
And initially we were going to just go in order of the Kickstarter, so that would have been after Mato, General Khan, the Great Khan, Owl King, and Yurik, but we realized, if people are getting all these good guys, it's gonna be kind of lame not to have bad guys.
Sure.
And as much as we love Owl King, I think that's Jason's second favorite.
Yeah.
We really wanted to get the bad guys, and since the Shaddar army builders, you can almost have the same amount if you wanted to. So.
Sure. Okay. And Chris Bouchard just dropped in a super chat, and I'll bring that up. And I hope you didn't do that just because we didn't get to your question, because I was going to get to your question, but I appreciate you regardless. But thank you so much for this. And he would like to know, like, put this in your ears. I hope you do a tiger one.
Oh yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
dude. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna do and Jason
Christopher.
keeps
Thanks,
talking about a lion head for Lion Lord, an actual like Lion King.
Like more
So,
beastly.
yeah.
If
So,
you do, yeah, I'm even that much more excited for that
Yeah.
figure, because
we're gonna do them all. We're gonna do even more like bestial bodies too.
Cool.
So maybe a rider,
All four.
as well,
Steed.
but
Interesting.
different than what anyone has ever done with a bestial rider.
You can flip it, so you can have like a human on all fours and have the beast riding.
What?
Sorry, okay.
No. What?
This guy.
I didn't think anybody
looks
would think
good.
about it that quickly.
Chief Mato. Pretty dope. Would you use these molds to start any other lines? Would you guys do fun repaints? These would work really well for military figures. So big buff military dudes. What do you think?
Who would do that? Who's thinking of doing something along those lines? Maybe in September. I don't know.
Interesting.
Big plans.
That's
Big plans.
Interesting response. Great
But
question,
first-
Justin Mohan.
But first, we got to get these figures in people's hands, and we got to make sure that people are happy before we do anything else.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And so, Christopher Bouchard, if you're looking at the tiger, puts it in your ear. Don't consider an axe, a battle axe for that.
I
tiger.
love axes, so I'll give everybody an axe if I could. Like He-Man, I always prefer him
Oh
with
man.
his
too.
axe.
Hell
than his
yeah.
sword.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Okay. But wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
So these were
yeah,
the
forgot I said
color
that.
renders
Yeah.
of. And this shows some of the other weapons.
Yeah.
These
And
are looking
unfortunately,
really good.
it's wrong too.
Yeah, the weapons
Jason
are
was
wrong.
talking about this.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to, Jason?
Yeah, if you look at the gun stock war club top left, you see how it comes down to a point. That's not right. That's not right at all. And that's just something.
Before you say that, let's pause, because I know you're hearing it, you're thinking it, and it means the thing. I'm just curious. Anybody in the chat? They're saying this is wrong, this design. I am curious why you think he might be saying that, and we'll talk about the other stuff and we'll circle back. Let's just see if people are thinking the way you are.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you guys get real into this stuff, and I appreciate the attention to detail. I also sometimes wonder what other folks see. So
Anybody who's seen Last of the Mohicans would know.
Okay. Fair enough. That's right.
And the tomahawk.
That's right.
Penn has redesigned the tomahawk. The handle or the shaft is too long, and you're not. It's hard in nature to find a piece of wood or a branch that's going to be perfectly straight unless it's bamboo, and he's not from that country, so it's going to have like a nice little curve to it. So when you throw it, I mean, it's going to be a good good throw. Tomahawk.
Okay.
Yep.
I love that. So there's like,
so if you go back to
but sometimes you're like, but there's reality.
So if you go back to his render, you can actually see the new tomahawk render. And then that spiritual knife, we decide. There you go.
Sense.
Look, a nice little curve to it at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. Well done. And then the knife.
The knife, we're not doing the knife in this round.
Oh.
In this version of Chief Motto.
Yeah.
But that's not to say we won't.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
That's
only
just,
so much room
costing.
Only so much room in the mold and all this. We've added a whole bunch of stuff we weren't planning on, and we're a small company, and
no, that's fair. That's great.
So maybe in the future we'll offer it. Hopefully people understand with everything.
I'm impressed that you said no right there.
Yeah.
Good job.
I think our female natives.
Yeah,
she doesn't have. She has a knife, right?
We'll give her the knife. We'll give the female the knife.
Quip says, "I want the knife.
Give me the knife, please."
Sorry,
you know what would be cool? The villain in that movie, his final form. That would be a cool action figure, man.
That actually really would be.
Some of the best
Here's
combos in animation.
Yes, the tomahawk needs a curve in the end, but it's okay to make your own. Some
Heyo.
thoughts. No one has taken you up on this. Why don't you go ahead and let them know why it's
So
wrong?
yeah, the question or what I saw just a couple days ago, and I'm not sure why it took me so long to figure this out. But the
Witness
way it's
this.
taken on the end, it's like a point. It should
Mhm.
it should not be a point. And I was like, you know what, that doesn't look right. And I did a Google search on gun like original gun stock war clubs. So there's the shaft of the club is more flat. It's not round, it's flat. And at the very end, it has like a little hand, like a hand catch where the hand goes and grips. So when he's like swinging like that and he lets go, it's not going to come flying out of his hand. It has like a little catch, like
Stop.
uh,
Hmm.
a little stop. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate the attention to detail.
Some people
Yeah.
say that it was that they used gun stocks for the war clubs, and some people there's alternating history on that, and that it just
Whether or
was a
not it was
natural
actually used.
design. Yeah, there was a
Mhm.
natural, or maybe initially it looked like it, and then they found gun stocks that to use as a quick way to make a war club. I don't know, but it looks cool, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. And let's see. There was here. Yes, tomahawk needs a curve in the end, but it's okay. Oh, we said that already.
Yeah.
No, there was something here
Ebony
about. Here you
leopard,
go. The
leopard.
skin
Yeah, there
tone.
you go. Skin
Yeah,
tone.
they congratulating you on the choice of plastic, and then I'm assuming maybe a little bit paint on top, or at least the tone that you're showing in the render.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
like
because we did
this
the research on the
coloring.
tone, and some Native Americans are really, really dark brown, and some of them are
Mhm,
really, really light. Depending on the region, the area. So we
mhm,
kind of like went with, we kind of met in the middle, like the average. What would be the average? What would the average skin tone look like? And
mhm.
we didn't go too light, and didn't go too dark. So this is what we came up with, and we really, really liked it.
Yeah, it seems to work best, and it
Yeah,
is fantasy. So but we definitely these people have been poorly treated and represented their
Amen.
entire history lately. So the
yeah,
least we can do if we're going to make an action figure of them is try to do a little bit of due diligence.
yeah.
So
Great job on this, the render too, and again the deco, man. He looks really, really good. I love this face right here, this sculpt.
Same. Yeah,
Looks
and he
same.
only comes
so.
with two heads. He's just showing it a second time
So
there.
this is
The
this one.
smiling head is not going to be included. We just
The
always
smirk.
have additional head sculpts made, just in
Oh,
case.
oh. So you're
So
saying this will not be there, but
Right.
this
right,
one and this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
The smirk was kind of nice though. There was some attitude there.
Maybe when we do a reissue, it'll
Sure.
come with the smirk and
That's
some
right.
other
Now
different.
you're yep.
Some other different war paint.
Yeah,
Yep. Flexing that toy maker thing. And here's some more detail.
Yeah.
With some beautiful film grain on
Yeah.
it.
that's an older render where the paint wasn't done properly. The eyebrows weren't showing. So these are all preliminary
Oh, I
renders.
see.
So if you
Uh-huh.
zoom in on yeah, I send you the one with I don't know
Oh,
if
so you're
you
saying
No.
the
Yeah.
eyebrow coloring would be match the hair?
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you actually get the
Got it.
figure, you're gonna
Mhm.
his eyebrows are gonna be painted.
Yep.
So it will look a
Don't
little
match the
different
hair.
than this.
Yeah.
Man,
These are just test renders. So keep that in mind, everybody.
headdress looks great. Is Nico going to be painting this one up?
Unfortunately, no. Nico
Uh,
is too. He works as
he's
a
pretty busy.
teacher and he
Oh,
works for
really?
Gentle
I'm just
Giant.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm teasing.
So
I know I keep clocking every time I hear one of these toy guys as a teacher, and I recognize it's a lot of work, is what I hear.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
and
yeah.
he did us a solid by painting three waves of figures for us.
Yep.
And if you saw him at Legion's Con, that poor kid was just tired as tired can be. So he's got enough going on in his life. We have a new prototype painter, my boy Joshua Bailey. He's a police officer in Columbus, Georgia,
Okay.
and he's a great guy. He is an amazing artist.
Dope.
So we're excited to, you know, have him as our painter. He's done some work for us already, which we had at Legion's Con, and we were very happy with it. And he's also going to try and figure out how to print our prototypes too. So,
okay. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing his stuff for sure. Just, you know, obviously a fan of Nico's stuff and seeing what he's done elsewhere. So, and obviously for this line, but the headdress is looking great. I can't wait to see what that paint master looks like. Some quick comments. And then before we move on, excellent attention to detail on fixing the weapons. Looks amazing. What type of plastic are you looking at? Because concerns about the fragility of plastic on accessories, snapping, etc.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I get a little I get a little anxious when it comes to, you know, what kind of plastic these are going to be made in, like the headdress and the accessories.
Yeah,
you know, because you're going to be taking them on and you're going to be removing them and placing them on other. You're going to want them to be flexible, right? Not cheap fragile plastic stuff. Definitely not that. Using that
so
stuff.
that's something you're definitely thinking about, of course. You know, I know you've got that in mind. And
the longer hair too, because Crowman has long hair.
That's right.
Long hair. It's going to be nice, soft plastic that can bend when you articulate them and move their heads around. Yeah.
Cloud saying great stuff, lads. Vaz suggesting maybe a yelling face would be a home run.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, on the next issue, or maybe a head pack, we'll do yelling, because that's something Jay's Figs, if you're a fan of his Instagram, he talks about is there's not enough yelling faces, and with our line that just goes hand in hand. So you know, probably with another reissue where we do like bloodier versions, we definitely have like a yelling face. So there's a lot of room to still like you know, if people didn't get the first wave, and you know, we still want to thank those people that got in initially. Our next reissue would be a difference. So that's one of the things we could do.
I'm digging it. Okay. There is a question about Vonner, and the answer is yes. His name was on those boxes. Yeah, and he was mentioned earlier, if you missed it, that keeping, you know, these folks on task.
Look at watch the last live stream with Odd Frog Entertainment. Jason was on that with Vonner talking about the Brutal Realm line, and I think we showed some older updates that we've gone over since then.
So. Cool. Yes, fellow teacher, I'm there with you guys.
I will support you, teacher, guys. I hope you didn't forget.
That's right. He was in the credential program. So glad that you're considering Beastly Lion Lord head. He's wanted it since he's seen the concept art. What's up, Chicken George?
That was in all caps, and you did not yell it like you should have.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm feeling a little chill right now. It's Sunday night. Concept art of the Shaddar. Let's go to the baddies real quick. You did show this. Folks can take a look. The art is fantastic. Shout out to Desar. I hope I'm saying that right. So you get the kind of the three different looks, and which means these. Well, that's another villain.
Hold
but
hold up.
Too early. Well, you know what?
Okay, we're going to that. Let's go
into this, and I'm gonna, because I know you showed me the face, the altar faces, but let's go to their leader. Let's go to Grimskull real quick. Is this the latest, greatest version?
Yeah. So we weren't ultimately happy with Grimskull's head sculpt, even though it was really cool. It still didn't capture the helmet like we wanted it to, and we got Black Beard Batch to redesign his head sculpt, and this is what we'll be going with. And he designed a hinge for the jaw, even though in my head canon the mouth doesn't articulate. It was a fun, since it doesn't come with an additional head sculpt, we thought you know, it's a great play feature. So this will be the head sculpt that comes with the figure, and when I photoshopped it onto the body, it looks even better than the old one. So hopefully people can see the potential and are excited for this head sculpt.
Teeth are kind of redone. There's a different change in the shape. Is that what I'm looking at? Maybe some eyes are a little bit more expressive, kind of more angry, scowly.
And yeah, and we might also add a little bit more texture to the helmet.
Okay. But I heard you say articulated mouth.
Yes,
right?
the jaw.
And so It's funny, for some reason in my head, I don't know why I didn't clock that this wasn't a helmet, but that's actually, he's a skull.
Yeah, I think of it like Darth Vader.
Okay.
So it's called the Dark Helm, and
Uh-huh.
almost like Doctor Fate. So when
Oh,
the character put on this helm, it changed him.
got it.
So that's
Magic.
the headcanon that's going on in my head,
Very
just to
cool.
allude to maybe a bigger story in the future. So
Ooh,
think of
sweet.
like an evil Doctor Fate.
Sure.
That's more
Makes you
like
wonder what he
Darth
looked
Vader.
like before that happened.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who's under there? Who knows?
Who's
I'm
under there?
picking it up. I'm picking up what you're throwing down, and this is his sword.
Yeah, we
Right.
also redesigned the sword originally in all the artwork. It's like Ogun's dagger, just enlarged, and that's not good enough for this character. So, absolutely, the sweeter the juice. So we redesigned the sword, and it's got something that we haven't seen. So instead of just being this huge red glowing blade, we thought it would be cool if it was a normal sword, and then this kind of red death emitted from it. So that red part of it is actually going to be translucent, and
Ah.
the shadow that you see is the sword inside.
The
So
darker red, yeah.
think of a
Ah.
sheath, and it can come out. So you can pretend like it's just a normal sword if you wanted to, or you can put that glowing dark red death
It's an
Red
effect. Yeah,
glow over it, and it's an effect. So yeah.
So
the sword
this
effect.
shadow is essentially the width of the actual metal blade.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is
the
that right?
side. Mhm.
Yep.
Very
It's
cool.
not
Okay,
real metal,
interesting.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, yes. Uh, but it will be removable, so that'll be molded in the translucent red plastic on top of the
Yes.
gray.
So it'll act just like a sheath. You'll be able to take it
Got it.
off and put it right
Very
back
cool.
in. Yeah.
Yep.
Neat,
That's what
neat,
she
neat,
said.
neat.
Yeah.
And then the no, dude. After one, there is moving on. So this is just that render,
Yeah, without
same
color.
thing, not the
Yeah.
color.
Hmm.
And then there you go. This is what I was fishing for. Back to the did it again. These guys. These are their
Head sculpts.
faceplates.
Yeah, and yes, is that the newest? Yeah, that is the
Yeah,
newest one.
those are the newest.
So yeah, we wanted to redesign the Shaddar as well. We just can't help ourselves. We want him to look as cool as possible. So yeah, we wanted to do more of a metallic skull look, more of
Mhm.
like a bandaged ninja, and then more like a, I don't know what that other one you could say it is, but just give some variety for those. So each one of these characters comes with these 3 different faceplates. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, man. And they either one of these. I don't want to see any one of these on the battlefield. Very cool.
I should have sent you just the head sculpts on the in the actual cowl.
Head to see what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, show it. Let's see if I can find it quick enough.
These are very cool, though. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, looking good. And this is what we'll sort of be seeing. And then are these hoods of theirs a cowl kind of piece? Are we talking soft plastic? Are we talking soft goods?
Really soft plastic.
Really
The
soft plastic.
the cloak, and
Mhm,
it's gonna
mhm.
be tattered like that too.
Okay.
They're gonna be really super soft plastic.
Okay.
Super supple.
But they'll
Supple.
be sort of pre-posed, if you will, have their sort of dynamic
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Interesting.
Send that. And they look so
Oh,
much
yeah.
better in full design. And one
There's
more.
the skull looks a
Little different. Yeah.
It does look a little different from the other one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
crazy.
It looks way better inside the hood. And we're real excited about that one. So did the other one send?
Yeah, I just haven't pulled it over yet, but that looks really cool inside that
Mhm.
Yeah, the old head sculpts weren't giving this vibe as much as we wanted it to. We really wanted to reflect like Grim Skull in one of them. Like
Sure.
it looks more like, you know, his army. And then for those that want to play up the like Shadow Ninja we wanted a head sculpt that reflected that with this version. And then for the other one, just something that Bassar kind of came up with. And he's done such great work that this is kind of, I don't know, in between all of that. So
Yeah,
we just
I
thought it
love
was
this
cool,
one.
so kept it. Yeah.
It's
So
got-
the
it has like
deco
a-
on the go ahead.
I was gonna say it has like a dark bird or
Yeah.
look to it, which I love. I love that
Mhm.
look.
The art is a little different. Actually, Kun kind of put his own little sauce on
Yeah,
this.
yeah, he did.
It's a little different than the concept arts.
Sure.
But you know,
It's
I
all
think
right.
it's
But
cool.
curious, color wise, this is gonna be like a metallic on the golder side. Is that right?
Yeah, we're still working on colors. It's
Okay.
definitely gonna have a metallic note to it.
Uh-huh.
Not like vac metal or shiny, kind of like a dull
Right.
greenish
Okay.
metallic note to it.
Greenish.
Yeah.
And then the skin tone is more that purple undeady looking thing.
Hmm. Darker,
cool.
probably darker purple than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darker
So.
purple than this. And then this was just I'm assuming this is the blade. Okay, got it. This is the
Yeah,
blade.
that's what it looks
underneath
like
that sheet.
underneath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I don't know if you saw that, but I did bring up Chris's comment like that sword.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We were hoping, we just decided that last minute. Jason's been pushing for us to redesign his sword for the longest, and finally I started listening to him. As any great developments on our line is normally Jason just like wearing me down until I finally listen to him. So.
What is going on here? Is this the reference to the dioramas that you're going to have at your cons?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're working with True Legacy Design. If anyone was at Joe Lanta, he had a like 1/6 scale attorney, what's it called? Grayskull.
That's right. You took
Grayskull.
pictures of some of the prototypes on it.
Yeah. He had a 1/6 scale Grayskull, and he came. We just kept talking to him, and he's really like excited to help bring our designs to life. And one of the things he wanted us to help us with is our display. And he was like, give me some ideas. And I came up with this Skull Mountain, kind of like General Grumskull's lair. And then the Lion's lair, which is Ogun's kind of African-inspired lair, but could also be used for Lion Lord and the Primals and whoever else. But I wanted something that kind of was like an organic Castle Grayskull, if you will.
So it's designed after the baobab tree in Africa.
Oh yeah, the baobab tree. Got it.
It's just this giant tree, and it has these. It has a lion head carved into it, and then African mass on the opposite side of it as well. So it's a little bit more straight up and down than it is curved in like it is in this art. But did I send you the other images of this?
Nope.
Oh, here we go. All right.
That's cool though. I was wondering, like, what is this? What are they doing with this? Okay, so as of right now, these are, like you said, meant to be displays to kind of establish the world on your thingy, on your
display,
on your tables.
Tables,
right.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
And if people want us to develop this into something more, maybe that's something we could do in the future. Who knows what we might do. So we just wanted to. We were at Legion's Con, and Duarte Studios made like everyone's table, and it looked amazing.
Yeah,
and
totally.
we already had working relationship with True Legacy Matthew over at True Legacy Design. So we wanted to continue that, but hopefully ours looks even half as good as all the work that Duarte did for everybody else.
Dude, his work is killer.
Yeah.
No, it's going to look great. Again, it's going to help people understand, like, sometimes it's not a comic book. Sometimes it's an image or an object that brings us in. And so that's really great. The Justin Mohan would like to say he meant volcano skull. A volcano skull be interesting, but the volcano skull is amazing. Very, very cool. Yeah, man, I love that I hadn't even really thought about, like, oh, where are these guys doing their thing? Where are the villains? Where are the heroic warriors? And this is really, really cool, man.
And I also bought this like Arc de Triomphe that I was repainting to be as a centerpiece as well, like in between all of that or on the side. So this will probably also be in our display. Let me see if I can reach it with keeping my headphones in.
Loch
Nope,
Triumph.
I can't.
Nope, you lost it. Now we talk trash about James when he can't hear us. Here, there's a question. Of course, it's gonna come up. And it came up earlier. I want to make sure that we had it there. All the assortments that you said, like of that first wave of like 11 or 12 figures. What's your thoughts? And I will say on your behalf before you go, I'll be the shill. Obviously, they're working hard. They're trying to figure this out. There's a lot of tooling, a lot of logistics that needs to happen with 11 figures. Like, I don't know if you've thought about that end of it, but that's going to be a lot on the factory to manage 11 different SKUs and objects.
That's right.
Based on that, though, what are you targeting?
Hopefully by summer, everyone will be getting figures in their hand. So we just want to have something in people's hands by the time our Kickstarter launch. Hopefully it'll be like, just here comes my figures, here they come. So we want to be ready with all of those figures by the end of by summer. This way everyone's getting all the male figures, and then all that's left is the female figures and the primals. And then hopefully we can deliver that by maybe even the end of the year, because the way Vonner's factory works is when you're ready, they're ready to go. So
that's right.
It's, now that Chinese New Year is over, we just need to make sure that the test samples are good, and we can start cutting steel and start.
That's exciting. I think it's a great target. I understand if we don't hit it, but that's super exciting. As far as these things that are sitting here, these sort of like Dio environment things for display, maybe these Dios could be released as a 3D STL file if you don't develop it yourself, but maybe you have it available for people to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I love the idea of giving people like free stuff on like our website. So there'll definitely be things like that, if not this.
Sure.
So absolutely.
And Jesse, man, would love it if you made it to Legion's Con this year. I was slightly bummed.
We're already.
Oh, dude.
No, this is Jurassic Jesse, who wasn't able to make it this past year. I thought I would see him there, but yes, maybe November 2025, we all get to hang out and we get to look at these awesome dios and all the figures that maybe by then, again, I heard summer, so there's that strong possibility that we'll be looking at a ton of awesome figures.
It'd be great to have figures to sell this year at Legion's Con.
Sorry, did you get that arc? I know you pulled it out. I wanted to let folks.
I got this at Goodwill. Oh yeah.
Okay. But you want to work it into your display, is what you're
thinking. Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to be like. Don't show.
Something light. Is it light?
Is it light? No. Oh, is it light? No, it's heavy as hell. So forgive me.
Okay.
But I'm repainting it right now to give it more of a weathered look to it. You could buy it on Amazon for like $250. I got it at Goodwill. And I thought, hey, this would be a great display piece.
Yeah, it is an awesome piece.
We look like we were just a custom corner. So
I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but for sure do it. I just because you're bringing that on the plane, right?
No,
that's right down the street from him.
I live in Atlanta, so it'll be at Joe Lanta.
Oh, that's right. You've got local shows.
Yeah, and then if we're still using this for Legion's Con, then I'll ship it.
Sure, that's cool. That's I love that, man. Work up that display. I know we were talking about display. What I was sending you was like, meh, that's like baby stuff. What you guys are thinking about is awesome. This line is turning out to be super dope, 100%. And I'm absolutely happy to see it develop this way, man. It's really great. You could also do a volcano skull as a display for the figures. I totally see that too, with like figures in the eye holes, maybe figure in the mouth, some platforms as just something to display your figures on. I love the way you're thinking though. You all are like thinking about the world, trying to figure out ways to communicate that and potentially extend the line. I heard steeds as a thing to potentially explore. I heard different body types. What else did I hear? I heard like beyond brutal realm, like
Hero
some other
realm.
potential realms. Yeah,
Who knows what other realms there are?
yeah.
We
That's you
can't go
guys
into it
are
too much, even though
no,
we're
don't.
already
But
working
just
on it. But
yeah, just tease it. I think it's great. I'm excited by your impressions and your dancing, all of that. Let's
wait,
see.
wait,
We got
Prince.
yes, we've seen the tattoo. I love it. That's Prince Rogers Nelson. And there was something else that I was. Oh, and just people are just throwing out some ideas for heroes. Maybe not for you, but for somebody else to maybe do customs or maybe to do an homage. I don't, they never do things that would infringe on copyrights, but maybe some kind of homage. I don't know.
Maybe we'll do our version of the pantheon of Greek and Roman gods, and
Oh,
they might hearken to other trinity of characters. Like, some people
sure,
have drawn
sure.
the comparison of Athena to Wonder
Right,
Woman.
right,
What
right.
would Hades or Mercury or Zeus look
Mm,
like on
mm.
our body with our designs as well?
Love
So,
it, love it. People, what's up, Machu?
hey,
Folks
Machi.
are throwing out other realms, maybe some future realm or brutal space, maybe some feral realm action. Man,
Feral
great.
realm. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I thought of Feral Realm when we were doing Primal Realm, and somebody asked, are you gonna keep Primal? I was like,
Yeah.
What's up, Nolan? Nolan saying, I'm assuming he's referring to Grimskull. Can't wait for Vader. Christopher Bouchard, thank you, man, and awesome stream. Can't wait to get the Lion Lord and see what else you guys do. So, like, I hope this was good for you to kind of like come back, do the updates. And I know sometimes it's stressful, right? You're like, you're doing all this work that people can't see, but obviously we're still excited, man. People are very much excited. Can't wait to see what else you come up with. I've told Jason this, as folks know, I work with Jason around like trying to let people know what's going on with the Kickstarter and that like give us the updates, whether that's
Jason of
on
Sparrow Toys.
yes, Jason
Jason.
Bienvenu, Spiro Toys, AWOC. We love it. We love it. So pictures, whatever you got, screenshots, all of this stuff that we shared today, people want to see it. So on that note, the stuff that we shared today that you sent me, what's the plan for that? Where can they look for that stuff eventually?
I will be posting it on all of our social media next week, tomorrow starting, and then Jason, and then also probably the first thing I'll do is our Kickstarter update, and then post all of this on our Kickstarter update. Even though it's the same month, I like to do a big update every month, but I'll do it for our Kickstarter, and then do another one in March. So yeah, every one of those I'll update it.
Very cool. In the meantime, if folks were curious and wanted to kind of rock
show
rock stuff before, yeah, I saw that. I didn't know if that was intentional because you were trying to show that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's fine.
Is this something you're looking to?
Yeah,
make
we're
available?
waiting on the hats right now. We sent the order in for it, and we got a whole bunch of shirts. I've got one of the newer ones here. I've got more here. So we'll have shirts and hats available. Stickers.
Very cool.
Anything else, Jason?
Business cards. I need to do some business cards. I need to get more business cards.
And we definitely want
That reminds me.
to do a mini comic. We're still working on finding someone to help us print that out because we have all this artwork. So just something to if people want all the artwork in one place with some storyline, we want to do that as well. So we're coming up with a whole bunch of stuff.
No,
Anybody
man,
got
that's
any ideas?
great.
Will let us know.
That's great. So the hats are going to live where on your website where they can order it
Yeah,
eventually?
we'll probably be, we'll have them on our website, but our conventions is what we're
That
really
makes sense.
thinking
In
of,
person.
because
Sure.
we'll have
Have a thing
something
to
for
bring.
people to purchase, since we don't have the figures for people to take with them. We'll have a QR code. This time we'll have our website up ready for conventions, and there's always Big Bad Toy Store, and I don't know if Kickstarter can still let you order off of that, but yeah.
Okay. So folks, if you're liking what you're seeing, and a lot of you, I know you've been in, you've backed the Kickstarter, you're just waiting, you wanted the updates, you got to see some cool stuff, some new renders, some changes that we saw that were very much for the better. Love what you guys are doing, man. And I'm really glad that you all were able to come back, and thank you so much for sharing some new stuff with folks. That's always fun. Check out their IG. They're super accessible. Reach out to them if you got questions, comments, be nice. These guys, they work really hard. So, here's a question, actually. Well, two things. Rick Jones, big scale orc is his dream. Wants to throw that out there. I see some heads nodding.
We were talking about that today. Yeah. We
Okay.
want to do what no one else has done with big characters. Maybe the Maximum Hulk will be able to do what we think a big figure should be able to do.
So yeah, Maximum Realm $59.99.
Yeah. Shit, our figure might probably be cheaper than theirs. So
check out the Medi Toys orcs too. Those are great figures. There's some really good stuff. And then there was, I know you. I know I know Jason in particular. I'm looking for stuff all the time for the news and for my interest. Always liked by Grim Spectre. Liked by, we're looking at the same things for science.
Yeah.
But here's the question that I think is a very concrete, helpful question. What is the thoughts about backer kit pricing when the backer kit happens? Will it be much different from the Kickstarter? What are we thinking?
It'll be this. We'll go back to the Kickstarter pricing, because these are the people that supported us from jump. So we're gonna knock it back down to the Kickstarter pricing for the backer kit.
Okay, so on that note, only the Kickstarter backers will be able to access the backer kit. Then that's what I'm hearing.
I think so. Isn't that how that works? I don't know.
It depends.
Well, I said it now.
No, because you have that. There's two ways of doing it.
Okay.
And so you can make the backer kit accessible only to the people who backed, in which case that totally makes sense. You're not trying to upcharge them. And then I believe there's a way to make it available to everyone to take in basically additional pre-orders. But anyway, just that's a thought. But I love your thinking.
We'll do that as well. But for the people,
but your thinking is for those that are already there, you're not. If you want more figures, you're not looking to charge more. They've locked in the ability to get more Brutal Realm at that price, which is rad.
And eventually, I mean, I can't really say this at all, because who knows with pricing and the world economy right now. But if we're ever able to save our the people that support us money and lower the cost of things, we will. We'll either give you more or lower the cost. So that's because to give credit where credit is due, Bobby Valla, he did that, and that's something that just as a collector, you love to see your money, you get more value for it. You feel like you're getting value for it, and if there's one thing we want to do is give value. So yeah.
Dude, you're doing it already. You guys are making amazing toys. You're entering. You're bringing some designs and characters that we have not had. You're building this whole new realm. Like, this stuff is really great stuff. I've been excited about it for a while, and I'm glad you all came back. Come back again as things come up, man, for sure. And we'll talk more about people, and we'll share all the stuff that you have to share with the people. Anything else you want to let folks know before we close out?
I've talked enough. I'm good.
I just want to let you know
Jason.
that thank you for your support and thank you for all the kind words and your feedback and the things that you're excited to see and looking forward to. And we are too. And we greatly appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right. All right, folks, we got Brutal. Go think about, all the ways that you're going to want to buy more toys like Ray Paz. He says he's going to add more once you get that thing going. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of folks. All right. Real quick for me, anything I need to tell folks about. If for the channel members, 1, thank you. 2, you should probably be seeing the brand new show that I'm doing with Cobweb, all about Masterverse. So you might want to check that out, and then it'll drop for everybody else on Tuesday. And next week, what am I doing next week? Oh, what am I doing next week is supporting yet another Kickstarter by crazy talented people. Arlen Pelletier, Ira Pelletier, and Adam Drake, Highly Articulated and AWOC. They're doing their own thing. They are
the astronauts.
Yeah, space zombies from Mars. So that's next week, folks. See you all Sunday, 3:45. Thank you to the Realm Toys crew. Whoa, what'd he break? He broke something, folks. All right, here's where we close out. I play fun Dan's music, and we all there. We got Odin. We got all this stuff. Thank you to everybody. Have a great week. I think I'm supposed to click on this for a little bit. Yep. And let's get brutal.
Let's get brutal. Let's get brutal.